Oh, yeah, you want the good news first or the bad news, Rodney? What do you want? Good news? It's good news. Good news or the bad news?
Hi. How about some good news, Jay?
You do? Okay. I am filming Boston Legal.
If I was on Boston Legal, Jay, would you eat me?
I would.
I know I would.
Do people know who Harry Carey is from Chicago? I guess they do, don't they? They know that. All right. That's the good news. The bad news is...
You're on Boston Legal? When?
Well, I won't be on until the week of Halloween, like the Tuesday before Halloween.
So you'll be on the Tuesday before Halloween, and if I'm not correct, that is...
Not mistaken, you mean?
No, if I'm not correct. That is October 28th.
That's right.
Tuesday.
I've never heard the term if I'm not correct.
Well, you've heard it now.
No, if I am correct, it's October 28th.
If I'm not correct...
No, that doesn't make any sense. If you're not correct, it means you're wrong.
Hi, Jay. Hi.
Yeah. Anyway, so, but the bad news is that I'll have to be off the air for a few days to film the show.
And what's the bad news?
That was the bad news.
That
was it. But then there's more good news.
Oh, my God.
People in the Washington, you know what, would you call Mike Church, Sean Kelly, and get him on the air? Mike Church from Sirius Patriot 144. Now, Mike and his brother have been raising money in outside of Washington, D.C., Fredericksburg, Virginia. Did you ever see the movie Remember the Titans? Did you ever see that film? For the football?
I did not see that one.
Where the coach comes in and it's a black and white.
Did they win in the end?
Yeah. They win the big game. Mm-hmm. And I think it was Denzel Washington was he brought the brought the black and white team together. Is that what he did? Were they the team? You didn't see Remember the Titans?
No.
Anyway, I saw it.
Sorry.
I even saw We Are Marshall. I see any football. The worst football movie ever made.
What was that?
Any Given Sunday, and my doctor wrote the original book. What?
That was a horrendous movie.
It was awful. It was the worst football movie ever made.
The worst part was people coming out, boy, that's really how football is. Oh, I hated them.
My doctor wrote the original book called It's Only a Bruise when he was the doctor for the Oakland Raiders, right? And then he said, hey, to Al Davis and everybody, all these guys are on drugs and they're going to die and get hurt and everything else. They got rid of him.
He anticipated the steroid
by years.
Correct? Yeah.
By
No, I remember that. I know your doctor.
Many years ago. And so they got rid of him and all that, and life goes on. But that was the worst one. But this Remember the Titans was when the Denzel Washington character becomes the first black coach at the school. Is that right? Mike Church, are you there from Sirius Patriot 144? Mike? Is he there?
I hit the wrong button and hung up on him.
Oh, my God.
My fat fingers hit two buttons at once.
Do you realize what he's going to think now, that some liberal has done something to him? So anyway, there was a guy in the movie who was a big part of the team, and Rodney, you're never going to guess what happened. He didn't like black people when the
in the end, did he?
Yes, he did. But
did they win?
Yes, but he was crippled. Now, this is a true story.
What some black guy broke his neck?
No.
I thought that maybe why he didn't like black people.
No, he was You were giving him a reason. He didn't.
Well,
have a reason.
there's usually a reason, and they usually tell you what it is in the movie. What was it?
Well,
he caught his dad with a black woman.
No, car accident.
It's always something like that.
He just didn't like black people because he didn't like them. But before the end of the movie, he did, and he became a big fan of the team, and he became paralyzed, right? And he passed away a few years ago. And Mike Church and his brother Mac have raising money for this guy.
They're raising money for the guy who doesn't like black people.
Well, no, he liked black people by the end of the movie. Mike Church from Sirius Patriot 144. Welcome to the Jay Thomas Show. Mike built me a gorgeous studio in Abita Springs where I broadcast when I'm down there. Mike, how are you?
I am good, but I'm going to have to set the record straight here about Gary Bertier.
Hey, thank you. It's Rodney Lee Conover that was saying all the... What? He liked black people?
He loved them.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He roommated with the guy for the whole rest of the season. The guy, as a matter of fact, the guy
they made him.
That Garrett's talking about, or whoever that is.
That's Rodney Lee Conover, your big buddy.
Rodney Lee, I am ashamed of you.
He's always blaming stuff on me, Mike.
What's the guy's name? that we're dedicating the golf tournament to?
Okay, it's Gary Bertier.
Oh, that guy. He loves black guys.
Yeah, he loved black people.
I'm sorry, Mike. I misunderstood Jay.
So it was the Denzel Washington movie. I did watch it, but what's sad is, Mike, I had the opposing team +3, so I was upset at the end of the movie with my team. I did lose. I did. So I had the wrong team. So Gary Batir, and by the way, the Mike Church Show is now on in the morning on Sirius Patriot. Were you on like 9 to noon Eastern time?
9 to noon Eastern.
Oh, that's a great slot.
144, right.
Wake up with Mike.
Right, and Mike and I are polar opposites of politically, and yet, wouldn't you say, Mike, almost like blood brothers?
Pretty close.
Pretty close to blood brothers.
I'm not sleeping in a bunk bed with you.
Why would you always think that anybody that might be a Democrat or more liberal than you wants to sleep in a bunk bed with you? I never have understood that.
Well, I guess I was just thinking that if I ever do, then I want to make sure that I get the top bunk and not the bottom one.
No, but why would...
If you know what I'm saying.
Well, it's not because you're a Democrat, Jay. It's just because you're a sicko, and I know you personally.
Right. So it has nothing to do with my politics. You just think at any moment I could become like some swamp butt pirate is what I could become at any moment.
I have seen you in action at pizza parlors. I don't want to be anywhere near you when you.
We don't need to go into my love of hot cheese. Okay, so Gary Batir was the guy, big football player, room with the black guy, helped bring the team together, and then was in a tragic car accident. And now this is for spinal injuries. This is the golf tournament this weekend?
Yeah, it benefits the Virginia Commonwealth University, that's VCU, Spinal Cord Research Center. And what they do is as soon as you have had a spinal, there's only 3 places on the East Coast that offer specialized treatment and therapy for the family, and actually a place for the family to stay while you're receiving treatment. And one of them is VCU. And they are in sore need every year of charitable contributions and of the community support. And so Gary's sister, his sister that survived, actually started this 2 years ago at the suggestion of a friend, and then my brother got involved, and then that's how I got involved. But
now, is your brother a big Republican like you, big conservative?
Why does everything have to be about politics?
I don't know. I've seen you at a pizza parlor, that's why. I don't know what that means, but I've seen you. Yeah.
I think my brother is just he's just a big capitalist. I don't know if that makes him a Democrat or a Republican.
Well, I'm going to ask you about that in a minute, but where is the country club?
It's Canyon Ridge Country Club, and it's in Fredericksburg, Virginia.
Canyon Ridge Country Club, and I'm going to try and get there. I'm supposed to leave like at midnight on Friday night. I'm going to bust my ass to get there because you know how charitable I am. And I'm going to land like early in the morning and try and tee off with you guys at Canyon Ridge. And are you inviting people out to see the golf tournament in Fredericksburg?
They're invited out to come and meet you and get an autographed picture and whatever else they can scam off of you.
Any other celebrities beside me and you there?
Yeah, there's several old or I should say recently retired Washington Redskins.
There you go. Which ones? Do you know their names?
I know that Mark Mosley showed up last year.
The kicker.
The kicker. I'm not sure who they have on the entire schedule. They don't tell me these things.
I wouldn't share a bunk with a kicker, would you?
I heard that the Hoggett dudes from the Visa commercials were supposed to show up this year. I can't confirm that. I know.
Rodney, did you hear that? The Hoggett the guys that dress as hogs.
Sweet.
Those guys.
Yeah, those guys will be there.
Ryan Hurst, who played Gary Batir in the movie, and he was also in Saving Private Ryan and We Were Soldiers. Yes. The actor will be there.
Good. Okay. So the Canyon Ridge in Fredericksburg, Virginia, and the festivities start in the morning, and you go out and meet the people and stuff, and it raises the money for the place that helps people with spinal injuries, right?
That's correct. You got it all right.
All right.
Ridge, though, not Canyon. Cannon.
What is it? Cannon?
Cannon.
Oh, I forgot where I was going.
Cannon. You shoot your cannon off.
Now, why don't you tell Rodney where you're broadcasting from this week while you're in the Washington, D.C. area? And you offered me to broadcast from there, too. Tell Rodney.
Yes, I will be high atop the Celestial Tower of the National Rifle Association's Washington, D.C. headquarters.
Wow.
That's where he's broadcasting from.
Like it.
He offered me you offered me a chance. Yeah.
They got a giant Charlton Heston poster in there and all sorts of books and and magazines and stuff laying on, the real magazines, I mean.
Does anybody get on top of the tower just for a joke and kind of...
Are there any guns on the walls in the NRA? Do they actually have any guns on display?
They have one pair of, I don't know if they're operable, but one pair of old Colt 6-shooters.
Right. And do you carry a gun? I don't know. Do you carry a weapon on you back in Louisiana?
Only when I go in neighborhoods where you live.
Well, but I'm asking, you have one in your car, do you?
Yeah, absolutely, all the time.
So have you ever had to pull it out and point it at anybody during your
Thank
time?
the Lord, no, Jay, no.
Okay. Well, I'm just wondering, you carry a weapon. I was wondering if what happened to cause that?
What?
I'm just asking.
Life happens to cause that.
And you just think you might need to... Do you go to a shooting range and make sure that when you do pull the gun out and happen to shoot somebody that might just accidentally look like Barack Obama, do you practice?
Yes, I do practice.
I don't think you practice much, Mike.
I don't practice very often, but no, I have shot the weapon. I have fired the weapon.
One time?
No. I've fired a couple of boxes worth of shells.
Okay.
I don't go out and shoot it every day.
Well, you ought to do it once a month at least. You ought to go out and shoot it.
Next time you're in New Orleans, I will make sure
we'll go shoot out behind the thing. Well, Mike, thanks a lot. I'll be busting my ass to get there. Before we go any further, what do you think? Everybody's called me, and I know people at the Patriot. What do you think of this bailout? There's a full-page ad bought by a private citizen in the New York Times, a guy named Bill Perkins from Houston, Texas. It just says paid for by Bill Perkins, and it gives his address in Houston. He must have spent $25,000, and it shows three guys. I don't know if they are the scions of industry, but it shows a American flag with a hammer and sickle, big industry, Detroit Auto, and Wall Street banks, and it says the new communists. Do you think that it's a communist enterprise to be bailing out the banks and all that?
Well, communists don't bail out. They go in with the guns that they've confiscated and they take over. Socialists bail out. So
it's a socialist thing.
Yeah, if you're asking me if I'm a fan, I'm absolutely opposed. And I don't care what initial you have in front of your name, D, R, I, or S. Doesn't matter to me.
Well, what does that mean, D, R, I? What is the
Republican, Socialist, Independent?
Oh, you don't care what So now here's the deal. They say if we don't do it, and I really don't know whether we should do it or not. If we don't do it, the collapse comes and it'll be like the Depression again. You'll be in the street with a cup. Well, Rodney, get in on this. Rodney, do you think we'll be in the street with a cup if we don't do it? Rodney?
No. Mike is right. It doesn't matter who's proposing it. It's stupid, and the only losers are the people who played by the rules. Okay. I don't think government's going to come and bail out Mike if Mike all of a sudden loses his mind and starts using incredibly stupid and risky business practices and his business starts to fail. Where's the government going to help Mike? No. They're going to take it out of his back pocket and give it to all these idiots who didn't play by the rules. Am I right, Mike?
You are absolutely correct. What needs to happen here is that the number one, acknowledge that there were horrific mistakes made, and this wasn't a case of the most idiotic things that I hear, Jay, is this is deregulation. This is not If it's deregulation, then explain to me where the $30-some billion that is spent every 3 years for the SEC and FDIC and to run all those bureaucrats. What the hell are they doing? If it's deregulation, that's number one. And number two is if you and I go into an investment property and buy a house in New Orleans and fix it up and can't sell it.
Yeah.
If we can't sell the house for what we paid for it, what do we do?
No, you're right. I'm in that situation in New Orleans.
Bobby Jindal, is he going to bail us out?
No, he's not. You're right.
Well, I think the biggest problem with this is that you're basically saying to the people who ran roughshod and ruined the industry, you're basically saying to them, that's okay, just don't do it again. Here's some money. You think they're going to do it again?
No, but I think the fear is...
Of course they're going to do it again.
But I think the fear is that if they don't do it, and I'll say it again, they've made us believe that some horrible thing is going to happen, and gas is going to go to like $7 a gallon, and we're totally screwed. I'm just asking your opinion. It's not a right or left thing. It's like I don't know what the answer is. I'm just afraid if they don't do it, this awful thing happens.
Well, look at what the first piece of the puzzle is if they are successful in doing it, which is to raise the debt ceiling, Jay.
Yeah, I know that.
From 10.9 billion to 11.7 trillion. I said billion. Oh, wouldn't that be nice? Trillion. So the first thing they have to do is make sure my kids and your kids and their kids have that big of a Acme anvil like Wile E. Coyote around our necks going over the cliff. I mean, that's insanity.
Okay. All right. And I saw Kramer last night saying that we have to do it. That guy that screams and yells on TV. And I was thinking, well, I guess he feels that way because that's his show.
What does Michael Richards have to do with any of this? And
no, not that Kramer.
Why are they... What?
You know who he blamed it on, Rodney? The in people. He blamed it on the in people. All right. Okay, Mike, thanks. I guess I knew that would be your position, but I think maybe a lot of... I know now Sean Kelly is a socialist, so we won't even ask him. We know he wants the bailout. But okay. So a socialist is a communist without a gun.
That's right.
All right, just checking. All right, Mike Church is on Sirius Patriot 144, and then this weekend, hopefully I'll be able to get there, Fredericksburg, Virginia, Canyon Ridge Golf Course, and the money goes to the spinal injury people. If you saw the movie, Remember the Titans, that's what it is, and his brother Mac Church is down there. Okay, Mike, I'll call you for sure, but hopefully I'll be on a plane Friday night, and I'll see you on Saturday afternoon.
All right, Jay, thanks for all your help, brother. Appreciate
okay, buddy, my pleasure. There you go. You know, Rodney, I have to tell you, I really don't know. I just think that, everybody's going, if we don't do it, it's, my wife was, well, what should we do? I go, I really don't know. It's like, I agree with you. If you make your bed, you have to sleep in it and all that.
Hey, the people that are going to pay are the people that play, the usual suspects are going to pay. People that play by the rules, people that, use caution when measuring their need. And that's
like
not
me.
That's not Republican Democrat. Those
right.
are just people that are playing, like I say, playing by the rules. It's the frat boys giving other frat boys a bailout.
Well, they've announced that John McCain and his wife, they have 13 houses and 13 vehicles. That's
well,
how
be
rich
fair. 8 of them are rascals. You're going to count all of those?
No, you're not. I guess not. I better scratch that.
I noticed we never did a vehicle count when John Kerry was running for president.
Well, the Kennedys are billionaires, aren't they? Or how do they just make money because their grandparents were rich? Is that it?
The fact is, John McCain owns one car, one American-made car. His wife owns 12 of them. So fucking what?
And Barack
I wish
Obama,
my wife owned 12 cars.
Barack Obama only has one car.
It's a hybrid, half one thing.
It's probably a Prius. What does he own, Sean?
He has a hybrid.
What does he have? He has a little SUV. What is he?
It's an '87 Buick LeSabre.
You liar, Sean. Okay, that's good. All right.
Buick LeSabre.
By the way,
with
I know it's I know that we're not talking about this anymore, but I noticed that in Pakistan they say that this explosion that they had at this hotel in Islamabad, they're calling it their 9/11, and they lost 60 people, right? And some were Americans, and it's really terrible. And they don't want the FBI to come around. And so then I'm looking at the newspaper, and I see Kazakhstan, and then they show a picture of Turkmenistan. What does "stan" mean exactly? That it's that group together, doesn't it? Like the "stan" must mean something.
It's like Ville.
Like a Ville, right? But when you look at these places, all you see is waste and blown up and everything else. They ought to change all the names.
To what?
Like instead of Kazakhstan, it should be Karzaka rubble. Because that's all rubble.
You ever seen a map over there? Do you know the country that Borat always was making fun of?
Kazakhstan, right? No.
Kazakhstan.
I'm sorry. Kazakhstan, right.
Yeah.
Kazakhstan.
Do you know how big that country is?
No.
Oh, my God. It's massive. I'm talking about an area. It's just it must just be mountains and rubble and rocks.
Well, we only have one, we only use one measure, and the measure is Texas, right or wrong? That's what everybody's saying.
Yeah.
Is it bigger than Texas?
Oh, yeah.
Bigger than Texas?
You bet.
What about Uzbeka rubble?
I think it's bigger
Uzbeka
than the
rubble.
United
Do you have the
States,
sound of things falling, Garrett? Rubble? You have the sound of rubble falling?
Yep. And just, Barney rubble will do. Yeah, there you go.
Well, that's the new name of Iraq. Barney Rubble. That's Iraq's new name. Afghana rubble. What is Tajikistan, right?
Tajikistan, correct.
Tajika rubble. Kygyzstan.
Kyrgyzstan.
Kyrgyzstan?
Sure, I will.
Kyrgyz rubble. Turkmenistan. Come on, say it together. You're all saying it in your heads.
Turka rubble.
No, Turkmena rubble.
Turkmena rubble.
Turkmena rubble. And then Pakistan's the best one, Paka rubble. It's time now for the Rodney Lee Conover $150 joke of the day. We're going to do it early today, Garrett Andritz.
Caught me off guard.
You ready? No, and we're gonna do it. We're gonna give Rodney Lee Conover the headline, and from the headline he will make a $150 joke of the day.
I'm ready.
On the Jay Thomas Show. Do you have the music and the change machine and everything, the bowling ball ready to go? Are you ready? All right, here we go. President of Pakistan, the Prime Minister, and cabinet members were supposed to, Rodney Lee Conover, go to the very Marriott Hotel in Islamabad where a massive truck bomb detonated outside, killing 56, injuring over 300. Pakistan's head of the ministry said, believe it or not, they did something else. Rodney, what's the $150 joke of the day?
So they didn't stay at the Marriott?
No, they didn't.
Avoided getting killed?
Yes, they did.
Well, they must have stayed at a Holiday Inn Express.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Rodney Lee Conover $150 joke of the day, the Jay Thomas Show, Sirius Stars 102.
I'm Candace Bushnell, author of Sex and the City and Lipstick Jungle. Here's what my show's about. We try to stir things up every week. We tell women exactly what you don't want to hear. I tell you to run away from your children and run to work and make lots of money and tell your husband what to do. Make him do all the housework and learn how to run the show with my special guest this week, Brooke Shields, Kim Raver, Rosie Perez, and even a few guys. All on Sex, Success, and Sensibility with me, Candace Bushnell, Thursday at 6 p.m. East, 3 p.m. West on the Sirius Stars channel, Sirius 102.
Honey, are those pigeons?
Yep, cute little fellas, aren't they?
Why are you keeping pigeons in our basement?
Well, you know how I've been away from the office so much, traveling around making presentations?
So
it's hard to get things done without having access to everything that's on my office PC. That's why I'm training these guys to bring my computer to me. Isn't that right, fellas?
That's nice, but sweetheart, you could just use Go to My PC.
Go to my PC?
Go to My PC. It lets you work on your office PC from any other computer with an internet connection. Just log on to gotomypc.com and start working with all your programs. Access all your files. Use your email. It's fast, easy, and completely secure.
Yeah, but will Go to My PC answer to 14 different whistle commands?
No, but Go to My PC will let you try their service free for 30 days. Just visit gotomypc.com, click the Try It Free button, and use promo code SIRIUS. That's gotomypc.com, promo code SIRIUS. Where are you going?
Upstairs to sign up for Go to My PC. And I'm hungry. Have any dinner ideas?
Suddenly, I'm thinking squab.
Hi, this is Greg Zapper, president of Nevada State Corporate Network. For over 7 years now, I've been telling you how important it is to get incorporated and build business credit. Thanks to you, Nevada State Corporate Network is now one of the nation's largest incorporating firms. But some of you are still putting off getting started. So let me introduce the person that motivates me to get things done, my wife and business partner, Susan Zapper.
Hi, everyone. This is something important I wanted to talk to you about. Right now, the U.S. is in the middle of a severe consumer credit crisis. That's why it's time for you to build business credit now. If you have a business credit can help you get vehicles, equipment, real estate, and separate business credit cards. With our business credit program, you can get hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of business credit now, regardless of your personal credit. Call 866-854-5282. Get instant business credit now. 866-854-5282.
Great job, Susan. And remember, when you call, ask for the Zapper Credit Special at 866-854-5282.
You mean the Susan Zapper Credit Special.
Okay, whatever.
Hi, the Jay Thomas Show at Sirius Stars 102. And go to jthomas.com or jthomasshow.com. We have a plethora of T-shirts, no matter what your political bent might be. Obama the Commie, Get Off My Lawn. We've got the Sarah Palin, Get Off My Daughters, VPILF. And then Sean Kelly, of course, has put just an incredible store together for you. And remember, The money stays right in this country, does not leave this nation. And the T-shirts, Sean, if I'm not mistaken, are in fact made in the United States. Are they not?
Some of them are, Jay.
Some of the highest quality American cotton.
Yes,
okay?
The ones that are stamped made in USA are made in America.
Made in America. Okay.
That's why you pay more for them.
That's right. Go to jthomas.com or jthomasshow.com. You can also get a J. Thomas Show hat or shirt if you want to tell people like that. But also you can make a backpack or a little doggy sweater because the cool air is coming now, and you may want to cool your dog. Now, I always thought, or warm your dog. I always thought a dog had fur and didn't need a sweater, and they sweat through their tongue or something, don't they, Rodney? I didn't think that they needed to be covered, but apparently put a sweater on
little
their dog.
dogs, and if it's winter, they're not made for going out in the snow. I think those little dogs with the sweaters are cute.
Well, I have a dog story here. You know this comedian Dane Cook that every movie he does is a stiff? My Best Friend's Girl was called by the L.A. Times one of the worst movies ever made. Dane Cook is being evicted from his Hollywood apartment because nobody picks up after his...
stealing jokes from the landlord?
You think he doesn't steal, he just talks. He doesn't have jokes. You think he steals his bits?
I think he's doing a bit that the landlord was doing. That the landlord wants him out. He says, when you're out of town, that's fine, but not in town.
Okay. So Dane has decided to fight being thrown...
Who's named Dane?
A guy from Denmark. He's from Denmark. Dane Cook has decided to fight the decision, and he is making this legal argument, and if you go online, you will see the legal document that he has put in Beverly Hills, or in Hollywood, that he has channeled John Belushi and Steve Martin's supernatural leftovers. They have had a serious effect on his career, and he only rented this apartment because his heroes, Belushi and Martin, used to live in the same complex. And according to court documents in the L.A. County Superior Court, he would suffer serious mental and emotional damage. His career would crumble if he was forced to leave. In the documents, Dane Cook says, I know that the presence of these two men and having lived here before me affects me deeply and provides me with inspiration. In the same way that writers get writer's block, Rodney, comedians can easily run out of ideas and stories. I'm frightened that this will happen to me. This is in a legal document that's on file. He said, I've seen it happen to other comedians. This is all in this document. Something interferes with their connection to their creative muses, and it destroys their careers.
Oh, what a load of shit. A comedian spends his life on the road. If he ever... I mean, what's got to do with your apartment?
His Chihuahua's name is Beast. Beast, the Chihuahua, right? Also, Dane Cook will be channeling shitty material from his various movies that'll be on cable in a month. Is it that he can't pick a good movie, or you think when he reads it, it's funny, and then when they make it, it's just not good? Maybe that's it.
I think that he's not funny.
Well, you don't like him, and I didn't like him.
No, I don't.
I liked him when the kids were showing me his stuff on the internet, but then when I saw the show where he was on the road with his buddies, I didn't like him. Torgasm. Got turned off by him in Torgasm. I was surprised. Barry of Georgia, the Jay Thomas Show, 888-4-102-102. Yes, Barry, how are you?
Oh, just fine. How's it going, Jay? Right?
Good, thank you. You like this Dane Cook guy? Does he make you laugh?
I haven't figured him out. I know my two boys just think this guy just about walks on water, as do all their friends, and yet Rodney's reaction to him just a few minutes ago kind of falls in line with a lot of other comedians whose opinions I agree with. And I'm just curious, what is it about this guy that, number one, makes him so popular, and what is it that makes other comedians dislike him so much?
Are you asking
Well, I'll
me?
tell you. First I'll tell you why he's popular, and then Rodney can say why other comics hate him. I'm not a stand-up comedian, but he's popular. Just when my boys would let me hear him, he would tell crazy stream of consciousness stories about girlfriends and his life and all of that, and I thought he was very, very funny. And we would sit and watch it on the internet. And so, and I think my kids wanted to go see him in concert one time, but they couldn't get in. They weren't 17. But I haven't heard my guys talk about him in a while. Rodney, why do comedians hate him so much?
Because he's not funny.
Don't you think
there's no other secret to that.
Don't you think they also hate him, though, because of jealousy?
Well,
I mean, he sold out like the Boston Garden 3 nights in a row.
Perhaps, but there's a lot of comedians.
Thank you, Garrett.
But there's a lot of. I don't see what's so funny about him.
Yeah. There's a lot of comedians that have done really well, and comedians are jealous by nature. But what sets Dane Cook apart from, am I going to be jealous of his success versus someone else's success? And that is, Dane Cook's not funny.
Okay.
Can we play? I don't.
And to answer the caller, it beats the shit out of me why people like him. I have no clue why people like him. I mean, I watch television and I see Deal or No Deal, and I go, well, there you go.
But he's not trying to be funny on Deal or No Deal.
But why do people like Deal or No Deal? I don't know that either.
Oh, you mean with the women in the suitcases and all that?
I don't understand.
The same reason they're going to like. They're going to like our quiz show. The same. Wait a minute. The same reason they're going to like our quiz show, my friend.
Why is that?
Heads or tails. It's coming soon. It's our new quiz show. Yeah. Heads or tails. Make it easy.
Host Dane Cook will love.
That's right.
Great.
Barry, we don't know why he's funny, but we'll play a clip in a minute and listen to see if he's funny. Okay?
Well, I've tried to listen to this guy too, and I mean, occasionally, he'll say something that is pretty damn funny, but he just goes on and on and on and on and on. It's like, how the hell do you carry a show like this?
Well,
anyway,
as long as the kids are laughing, it doesn't make any difference. As long as there's a group of people packing a place and laughing. But yeah, when I watch him with my kids, but they don't play him anymore. They've moved on to a group or a show called The Whitest Guys in the World. Garrett, do you know those guys?
Whitest Guys in the Room.
Whitest Guys in the Room. That's their new. Do you like them, Garrett?
I haven't really heard them that much.
Okay. They move on really quickly. So they've already moved on to The Whitest Guys in the Room. That's the new group. So
yeah, my son's talked about those guys. I haven't heard anything about them either.
Whitest Guys in the Room. All right, Barry, thank you. Mike of Winnipeg, The Jay Thomas Show, 888-410-102. Yes, Mike, go ahead.
Jay, when you go to do this show, this Boston Eagles,
yes.
Instead of running a bunch of reruns that week, why don't you let Rodney take over the show while you're gone?
Well, you sound just like Rodney Lee Conner. It'll never happen.
Nothing is a bigger downer than listening to reruns. It sucks.
It's for the new people that have never heard my show before. And when I sat down with Howard, and he said, I'd like you to fill in for me on Friday mornings, I said, Howard, why is it after all of this time you're allowing somebody to actually fill in for you? And you know what he said to me? Because now I'm safe. I'm safe. If I let Rodney fill in and he were to do good, knowing how cheaply he would work, Sirius Satellite would fire me. Rodney would apologize and say, but there was nothing I could do, and my family and I would be out in the street, Mike. I'm not going to let it happen, Mike.
Imagination.
No, I don't. I'm not going to let it happen. I'm not going to let it happen.
Well, when you're running reruns, I'll be sure to listen to something else till you come back.
Well, that's another thing. I run reruns to give the other shows a chance.
Oh, okay.
There you go, to give the other shows a chance. And if I ever do get my own channel at Sirius, Rodney Lee Conner, I'm going to make you this promise right now. Midnight, you get your own show. Midnight to 1 a.m.
Hey, thanks.
I got that spot open for you. Don't thank me now. Don't thank me now. I know this bugs you, Rodney, but, I've been honest with you, haven't I?
Doesn't bug me.
All right. I can feel the bugs.
The only thing that bugs me is when you welched on the bet. Outside of that bet, I don't give a shit what you do. I don't blame you.
Oh, they wouldn't let me do it.
I don't. Yeah, they would.
No, they wouldn't. No, they wouldn't let me do it. No, they wouldn't let me do it. No. We had a bet once. He was supposed to fill in and something happened. He lost the bet but thinks he won.
No. You. The Bears kicked the shit out of the Saints. You don't remember?
No. Then I went to the management and I said I made a big mistake.
Running out of Soldiers Field with your little Saints tail between your legs.
I went to the management and I went to the management.
They're going to hurt me.
And I said, listen, I made this bet with Rodney that he could do the show if the Saints lost the game. And the guy said, yeah. And I said, well, I don't want him to. And he said, well, tell him management won't let it happen. So that's what I'm doing. Management won't let it. All right. Thank you. Hey, Mike, you let anybody fill in?
I don't blame you at all, Jay.
When you're out of town, do you let people get in bed with your wife and fill in? Or does she have to just have a rerun of you?
I bought her a massage shower head.
That's what I mean. That's the rerun. That's the replay she's giving him. Okay. All right. All right. There you go. Speaking of football, you can go to Sirius Pigskin Pick'em game. And Sean, how did we do this week? How did we do?
I'm just dialing it up, Jay. I got to find
against the listeners. We'll find out in a few minutes. Okay. Rodney, in Illinois, there was a waitress, a barmaid, Janet Brannon, who was naked while serving patrons at the Cabin Tavern in Delhi, Illinois. Do you know Delhi, Illinois? Like
yeah, it's real rural. You know, it'd be like a farm community.
Sean, I want to get her on, okay? Her name is Janet Brannon. Now, I don't think this was a strip club. I mean, I just think it's like a regular bar. She took off all of her clothes, and she was charged with public indecency. An $8,000 bond was set. She was the only employee at the time. And here's the deal. She was always also charged, Rodney, with a violation of health code. A health code violation. What could that have been?
One of her tits was drooping down into the tequila shots.
That could be it.
One of those bananas was hooking into scooping up some of the salt from the rim. Can you see that?
You mean your image of her is not good?
She serves margaritas. Imagine this. She's got a tray with 2 margaritas on it with salt on the rim. Mm-hmm. And by the time she makes it over to the table and puts the tray down, the salt is around her areolas.
I think she was supposed to be wearing 2 hairnets.
Would you try and get her on, Sean, the lovely woman from the Cabin Tavern in Delhi, Illinois?
Do you think she could take a beer bottle, like a Miller Lite in a bottle, long neck bottle?
Yeah.
Lift up one of her tits, put the top of the bottle under the tit, slam the tit back down, and it opens the bottle. It takes the cap off.
So
you got those things on the wall where you stick the bottle. You think she does
pull the top off?
Right. Cleavage.
For some reason, you do not think she was a beautiful woman.
Well, no.
No, okay.
In a nutshell.
Would you say that perhaps plastic surgery would have been good for her?
No. I like her au naturel.
No, you do?
Oh,
well,
yeah.
Dr. Michael Salzhauer is coming on next.
What's he doing?
Well, he not only fixes women's bodies, but when the women come home, the children see a brand new body on the mom,
especially the ones that are still breastfeeding. That's kind of a shock.
That's right. But my brother's girlfriend, down in New Orleans, her little girl was about 4 or 5 years old, and she had normal-sized, breasts, right? She gets these giant balloons put in there. Now, that's what she wanted, right? And so she walks back in the house after surgery. I don't know the numbers. What would she be, like a 34 or something like that? And then she's a 37 or 6 or...
She was a 33 long, and now she's a... Thank you.
Whatever it is. And so he's written a book called My Beautiful Mommy, and it's what you give your kid. It's a picture book explaining plastic surgery to children 8 and under, okay? And he will be next. Go to mybeautifulmommy.com. It's the Jay Thomas Show with Rodney Lee Conover. Our football picks are coming up. We'll tell you how we did this week, and I'll give you a secret on how I did it. I bet you $10 I did better this week than I did last week. Stay where you are.
Jimmy Johnson, Carl Edwards, Jeff Burton, and the chase is on.
The chase for the Sprint Cup is on. Sirius NASCAR Radio. Sirius will be at the track right up to the checkered flag at Homestead, Miami. Get expert analysis from Buddy Baker, Chocolate Myers, David Poole, and Dave Moody. And with driver-to-crew audio, you won't miss a second of the action.
Fun, man. Dale Earnhardt Jr., Kyle Busch, Tony Stewart, Clint Boyer.
Go to Sirius.com/NASCAR for more information.
Kevin Harvick, Matt Kenseth, Jeff Gordon, and the chase is on.
Sirius NASCAR Radio.
It's obvious. You really enjoy your Sirius satellite radio. The sports, comedy, entertainment, news, 100% commercial-free music channels. But the real question is, are you getting the most out of your Sirius experience? I mean, are you only listening in your car? What about the office, your home, mom's house, the second car, your boat, tractor, whatever? The point is, you can add extra radios to your account for just $6.99 a month for each additional subscription. Only $6.99. And now you can save a on new radios and accessories too, like $130 off the hot portable Sirius Stiletto 2, which is also an MP3 player. Or save up to 50% on other radios and accessories. Just keep your new and existing subscription for at least 6 months. Go to Sirius.com/radio2. That's SIRIUS.com/radio2 for all the details. Or call 888-SIRIUS-1. Sirius Satellite Radio, the best radio on radio.
They say the best things come to those who wait. The wait is over. Tonight on NBC, SVU is back. All new episodes of television's best crime drama.
NYPD, open up!
With your favorite detectives and spectacular guest performances. Tonight, Luke Perry like you've never seen him before.
You fell in love with me.
The gripping season premiere of Law & Order SVU, following an all-new Biggest Loser Families. NBC tonight.
Here you go.
Hey, where's the fries?
We only serve burgers.
And my drink? Wait, don't tell me.
You know that place between one-stop service and endless hassle?
I'm definitely there.
It's the same with insurance. Not all companies can provide the coverage you need. State Farm can handle all your insurance needs. You could save almost $600 just by insuring your car and home together. Call, click, or visit and start saving today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Average savings reported in national survey by new State Farm policyholders that switched and saved. Homeowners insurance may not be available in all areas.
The Bouncing Souls. That's the closest we could come to the Bouncing Boobs on the Jay Thomas Show with Rodney Lee Conover. We're in California, back in New York. Sean Kelly, Art Sears, Andrea Bushy, and Garrett Andritz are producing the show. Dr. Michael Salzhauer, welcome. The author of My Beautiful Mommy. Go to mybeautifulmommy.com. How are you, Michael?
I am so excited to be interviewed by you. You have no idea.
Well, you got to give us a few minutes. It may not turn out well for you.
It doesn't matter. This is the highlight of my week. I can tell you without a doubt. I grew up on. I have not seen you since your Eddie LeBeck days.
Really?
But I am totally excited to
well, you've missed a brilliant career. Brilliant career.
I wanted to ask you, though, have you gotten your nose fixed? Since you took a couple of bruises there in the hockey.
No, you know what? I never did get my nose fixed, but I did have a bump in my nose, and I played football, and I broke my nose once. And, you know, I swear that that bump went away after I broke my nose in college. Does that ever happen?
It can occasionally. Listen, the nose continues to grow and change throughout one's life. I mean, my grandfather, the tip of his nose was sort of hanging on his upper lip by the end of his life. You know, God rest his soul.
Now, what is that when the old people's nose is not just big, but it gets that it's not that they're drinkers, but they get that big red pussy looking thing, and then their ears get gigantic. How do you avoid that?
It's genetic. It's called rhinophyma, and it just happens. You know, the skin, the sebaceous glands and so forth get hyperactive, and the skin just takes off. And you know, some guys get hair growing right out of their nose too. So the nose is a many splendid thing, and it does change over your life.
Now, you mean when you say hair, you mean inside of the nose or on top?
On the outside, right on the outside.
Rodney Lee Conover, are you listening to Dr. Salzhauer? What he's saying? What can happen to your
I don't have
nose?
hair on the outside of my nose.
It's going to happen to you. Do you have any relatives that have hair on the outside of their noses?
No, I'll tell you what though.
What?
You know when you get that patch of baldness, the circle patch on the so many men have in the back of your head. Now, do they still do that where they cut a patch of skin out and then they pull the sides up and sew it back up?
Yes, they do.
You know, I did that, and then more hair fell out. I said, what should I do? And the guy says, well, you got to cut another patch of skin. So he cuts another one, pulls the sides up, sews it back up. Happens a third time. They pulled it out. Now my ears are on top of my head. So if hair ever does start growing out of my ears, it'll be cool.
It'll be a good thing for you.
Yeah.
Dr. Salzhauer, I don't know that you can believe Rodney Lee Conover. So you mean that the only thing you know about me is Eddie LeBeck, who was the sweetest, nicest guy in the world.
Oh, what a nice guy.
Oh, what a wonderful guy. Well, that's not Jay Thomas. That was a character, sir.
Oh,
no.
I just figured that out. I'm on your website here.
Yes, this is the hard-hitting, this is the...
We'd getting his butt kicked by some girl with a pillow.
That's right.
On your
That's
website.
right. Yeah.
So now
He might
I'm
need plastic surgery.
updated now.
Right. So now you sound like a terrific guy, and where do you practice? What city are you in?
I'm in Bell Harbor, Florida, which is on Miami Beach.
Okay. So you got all of these rich Jewish women coming in there, getting their bodies fixed, so they can catch a young guy. Why are they getting it? Is it because, before we get to the book, is it because their husband isn't paying attention to them? What are they looking for, you know?
Well, let me just correct you briefly. It's Jewish and Gentile, black and white. It's all races and creeds.
But you will find on this show
a universal thing that applies to women everywhere, and it's not just that their husbands aren't paying attention to them. It's that for a woman, their appearance is extremely important, and it's hard sometimes for men to even relate to it. It's like sports and girls and everything rolled into one for many women, and their self-image and their self-esteem is wrapped up with it. So after they have kids and the skin doesn't snap back and their breasts aren't where they used to be, they can, it bothers them, and so they look for ways to improve it. And no matter how much you work out at the gym, that extra skin and those stretch marks will not go away. The only thing that fixes it is surgery, and that's when they come in.
Well, my wife had her breasts done. My wife's Jewish. We went down to Bal Harbor, where all the other Jewish women that we know got their breasts fixed.
Excellent.
I don't know how you didn't meet any of these women. And my wife is an environmentalist. And she had her breasts filled with wood chips. Do you do that?
That's great. That's
you like that one?
Good kindling. Yeah, that's great.
And sometimes when I nuzzle her, I can smell
like Colorado?
A redwood, kind of a scent, kind of a closety kind of a smell. And sometimes a moth will land on my wife's chest and drop dead. Completely drop dead. What are those chips you use? It's not redwood. What is it? It's cypress. What is it?
I don't know.
What's that endangered wood, Sean Kelly? What is that?
I have a gardener. I don't know.
Okay, so you're this plastic surgeon, and when we come back, we're going to discuss your book, because the mom walks out of the house, and she looks one way, and then when she comes back, like I was telling the story that my brother's girlfriend had small breasts. When she came back home, she wanted to get them big. I mean, like Annie Fanny big from the Playboy magazine, right?
Sure.
She actually got a body like that. And when she walked back in, her little 4-year-old girl at the time, didn't know who the woman was.
Yeah.
And these big giant bazoos are there. Yeah. So we'll talk about that next. MyBeautifulMommy.com. And you have little children and you read bedtime stories to them and the whole thing?
I've got 5 adorable kids under the age of 9.
We'll make that decision. Send us pictures of your children. I hate when people assume that children are so adorable. I bet you got a couple of, snozzolas there.
How about that?
They're beautiful inside. Okay. A couple of your kids are going to need some surgery, I bet. I'll bet you they're going to have hair growing out of their noses. It's the Jay Thomas Show, not the Eddie LeBeck you remember, at Sirius Stars 102.
We face serious challenges to our security.
It is not a card to be played lightly.
This Friday night, Sirius is bringing you the first presidential debate.
The next president ought to understand international relations.
Starting at 9 p.m. East on Fox News Channel 131 and CNN 132.
Anything other than continuing a war in Iraq, he calls naive.
Call in and have your say on Sirius Patriot 144, Left 146, and Indy Talk 110. The presidential debate from every point of view. Only on Sirius.
Hi, this is Greg Zapper, president of Nevada State Corporate Network. For over 7 years now, I've been telling you how important it is to get incorporated and build business credit. Thanks to you, Nevada State Corporate Network is now one of the nation's largest incorporating firms. But some of you are still putting off getting started. So let me introduce the person that motivates me to get things done, my wife and business partner, Susan Zapper.
Hi, everyone. This is something important I wanted to talk to you about. Right now, the U.S. is in the middle of a severe consumer credit crisis. That's why it's time for you to build business credit now. If you have a business, business credit can help you get vehicles, equipment, real estate, and separate business credit cards. With our business credit program, you can get hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of business credit now, regardless of your personal credit. Call 866-854-5282. Get instant business credit now. 866-854-5282.
Great job, Susan. And remember, when you call, ask for the Zapper Credit Special at 866-854-5282.
You mean the Susan Zapper Credit Special.
Okay, what
whatever. Stuck in a dead-end job? Your career just not going anywhere? CUNET understands, so CUNET makes you this promise. Give us a call, and we'll help you pinpoint your interest, locate schools that meet your needs, and get your career back on track in just minutes. CUNET helps you take that first step towards furthering your education and career. CUNET will search thousands of schools with programs ranging from certificates and trade programs to doctorate programs. Then, CUNET puts that school in touch with you. CUNET's service is always free. Take the first step toward getting your life and your career moving forward, all in one simple, easy step. Pick up the phone and call us in the next 30 minutes. Operators are standing by. Don't put your life on hold any longer. Call CUNET at 800-514-1327. That's 800-514-1327. CUNET operators are waiting to take your call. 800-514-1327.
All right. Hey, the Jay Thomas Show at Sirius Stars 102. Do like Dr. Michael Salzhauer did. He goes to jthomas.com, finds out all about me. People say, who are you? Well, I'm more than you think. Go right there right now and find out the stories of the show. Click on to all of... We had Sarah Palin's mother and father on yesterday. It was exciting. I got calls from all across the country, newspapers, television stations, and, you know, we'll have on the little girl I keep calling the little girl, I shouldn't say that. We'll have on our producer that did that, who actually called them at home. You may hear anybody on this show. And Dr. Michael Salzhauer has written mybeautifulmommy.com. He is a boob doctor, and he fixes the women's breasts or their noses or whatever, and then they walk through the door to the shock of their family. Yeah. They have changed. Their countenance has changed. I'm going to tell my breast story, but Michael, we're going to get to your book, I promise. But now that we have a man on who basically, you are like a god. God makes people, right?
Not even close, but thank you.
No, but he sends people down, and we all say, made in God's image, thank God, and God is beseeched.
Yes.
And someone comes to you and says, God has made a mistake with me. My breasts are sagging. There's hair growing from the bridge of my nose, the palms of my hands. My ears look like cauliflower. They look like eggplant, whatever it is. My buttocks are failing, everything else. And you say, don't you worry. I will fix you as good as God can fix you, right? Or wrong?
I wouldn't exactly put it in those terms.
I would put it in those words. Rodney, what would you say if you could...
Very junior partners in God's big plan here. Let's put it that way.
That's good.
You know, God made caves and trees. He didn't make houses. You know, you
could make a cave.
House is giving you something better than God made because you don't live in a cave. You know?
I would give you a shovel. You'd have a cave in no time. Rodney, have you ever touched a augmented breast?
Yes.
That you felt was as natural as the real breast that God originally intended?
No, but then again, if I did, how would I know?
Oh, that's right. You wouldn't have known.
Yeah. Now, I have felt up, you know, a silicon breast or whatever they're made of now, wood chips. And, yeah, you can feel the ridges. And, you know, I mean, I'm sure the doctor does much better jobs than this, but... Yeah, you know, I miss the blue vein milkiness of the natural breast. But having said that, if a woman wants to get her tits bigger and she thinks it's going to change her life and she feels better, then fine, do it. But don't do it for me.
What is the best stuff? What is the best stuff you put in there that's the softest? Is it saline or something?
Is it sand? Do they use sand now?
No sand, no wood chips. Silicone is the state of the art right now.
But can't that leak out and kill you?
Breast. And I guarantee you there are breasts out there that you would feel that you would not be able to tell.
Show me a couple. I'd like to
now
go on a tour.
Come on down. I need an assistant.
The Corning Company went bankrupt because they said that silicone leaked out of breasts and made everybody's breast like a chafing dish. Remember this?
That was more than slightly overblown. That was basically some trial lawyers got together, some class action lawyers, and bankrupted that company. But once scientists got together and studied it, they found that there was no ill effects whatsoever that can be attributed to the silicone. And around the world, they kind of laughed because they continue to sell silicone implants, and around the world, 90% of women have silicone implants if they have implants. It's only in the U.S. because of the class action lawsuits and the Trial Lawyers Association that sort of made the whole brouhaha that people even think that silicone is not healthy. Or
a lot of people think to this day that they have lupus or whatever it is because of the leakage, and in the end, I think a bunch of money was paid out.
Yeah.
But anytime the company went all the way to the end, I think they won the lawsuits, didn't they? Didn't they overturned a bunch of, and still that company went out of business. Did you know that, Rodney, that they never proved?
They went out of business because profits were sagging, and they
Now, doctor, so the little girl is sitting at home. The mommy leaves. This is why you're here. You've written this book, mybeautifulmommy.com, do you read the book before mommy goes in the hospital or after mommy comes back?
Well, I recommend that you read it to your children before the first appointment if you're going to be bringing them to the appointment. Because kids can get very scared. They associate trips to the doctor's office with illness. And they think, well, mommy's sick. Why is mommy having surgery? She looks perfectly healthy. So you need to explain at least that appointment with them if they're going to go with you. And many mothers bring their kids, believe it or not, to the first appointment. Now, if you're not going to bring the kid to the appointment, then at least read it to them before the surgery so that when you come home, you don't shock them. And it can be very traumatic for a kid to come home and see their mommy looking different or looking bruised.
Now, when you were a kid, did your mother take you to the doctor with her and talk about her boobs and all that?
Thankfully, no.
That's what I'm saying. So now you're in the book.
When I was a kid, my mom dyed her hair blonde. She dropped me off at summer camp as a brunette and then picked me up as a blonde, and I refused to go home with her. And
Did your friends go wild? Did your little friends just go nuts? I'm writing a book. Daddy's got a new boner. I don't know if you...
So you have been traumatized by your own mother. You were traumatized by your own mother's what happened.
Just hair color.
Yeah, I see. Right. And when you were little, did you say to yourself, one day, Mommy, I'm going to write a book so that other kids aren't hurt like me?
I did not. Okay. But, in the subconscious, everything sort of mixes around, and this is what pops up.
You didn't realize how deep I could get, did you?
No, you're a very deep man.
You thought I was the single act hockey playing, rerun. You probably thought I was dead or something? Huh? I'm still upset that you missed the next 20 years of my career. That's what I'm upset about.
I just update. Yeah. Let me tell you, you won an Emmy, 2 Emmys, it looks like.
Yes, that's right.
That's incredible.
Way to read it right when we're talking to each other. Rodney, if you wrote a book, who would be the hero of your children's book about cosmetic surgery? Who would be the hero?
Who would be the hero?
Who would be the hero of the Rodney Lee Conover My Beautiful Mommy book? Who would be the hero?
My beautiful mommy. Well, your mom would be, of course.
My mother. That's what you would normally think. Guess who the hero...
What would she say about women
Oh, my God, John. My breasts are beautiful. And I saw my mother's breasts one time, doctor, and she had the dark hairs coming out of the nipples, and I was never right after that. Never. Can you pluck those?
Yes.
Were they wiry?
You can laser hair. You can remove them with laser hair removal. And women do come in for that.
Okay.
That is the recommended state-of-the-art treatment for it. Because otherwise you're plucking every week,
Yeah. The hero of this book is Dr. Michael, and he looks like the dad from The Incredibles with solid muscle and a square jaw. Now, Michael, somebody did something to you as a child. Somebody really...
That is an artist's rendering. The cartoon camera adds 40 pounds of muscle. You're on TV.
Yeah, you're handsome, and you're a nice-looking guy. And it tells the story of a little girl whose mommy's going in for a tummy tuck and breast implants, and you call it the mommy makeover.
That's right.
Don't you think it's a shock to these kids that their mother isn't perfect?
Yes, it is. And in the book there, you see the little girl says, Mommy, you're already the most beautiful mommy in the world. And that is a very difficult thing to explain to a 6-year-old or a 7-year-old child. But this is the reality that we live in. This is the society we live in. And this is going to affect this kid. I'm
going to read right from the book.
Either you ignore the subject completely and deal with the kid who's screaming hysterical when you come home from surgery, or otherwise the child makes up in their mind, some kind of fantastical scenario about what happened, or you just address it head on in a way that they can understand. And that's what this book tries to do.
I'm reading from My Beautiful Mommy. You ready? Rodney Lee Conover and Dr. Salzhauser, you ready?
Yep.
Here it is. You see, as I get older, says the mommy, My body stretched, and I couldn't fit into my clothes anymore. Dr. Michael is going to help fix that and make me feel better. I've even played the music, Doctor.
Yeah.
When your friends see my gigantic hooters,
That's
and
right.
they start to snicker,
right?
You just look right back at them and say, Nah, my mom's tits are bigger than your mom's tits.
That's exactly right. I would think that when you're a little kid, you don't want to hear
That guy you have, the guy who works with you there, what's his name?
Rodney Lee Conover.
How many children do you have?
Children?
I don't have any.
He's single.
What's that got to do with tits?
He's a tit feeler. We couldn't be talking about... You didn't hear me talking about feeling tits. My wife is a cedar chest. You know.
It's my job to make fun of titties. Sorry.
My wife keeps, blankets and stuff in her chest because, no moths will get in there. But I think the kids will like it. And then the picture of you coming at the mother with the big carving knife and the fork. I thought that's an unusual.
That is not in the book.
That's not in the book. It must be the European version.
No blood in the book. No.
Okay. But don't you think it'll scare a kid that when they find out when they get older, and let me quote again, my body is stretched and I couldn't fit into my clothes anymore? You got to be careful with that one, Doctor.
Yeah, well, you have no idea how many drafts we went through to figure out what to say there. Because we didn't want the kid or the child to feel that they caused mommy to have surgery.
That's right.
The truth is that the baby, it's this adorable, wonderful miracle of the child is the cause for the stretching of the skin and everything else. So we just sort of, patch that over a little bit.
Rodney, I'm going to say something to you, and then I want to hear a sound from you. As the babies come out and the mommy gets older, the skin gets all stretched out, okay?
What skin?
The body skin gets stretched out.
What skin? All over the body?
All over the body.
The abdomen.
Abdomen, and she can't fit into her clothes.
You know what really is sexy, seriously? Is stretch marks from a pregnancy. And I'm not being facetious. That is sexy, man, because there's a mommy. I mean, that's the whole package. I don't mind that stuff. I mean, that's part of being a woman. That's a good thing.
Okay.
You know something, Michael? I'm with you, man. Listen.
Just because I like women natural, you're on my ass, and then suddenly
he doesn't like anybody.
I'm the weirdo.
He should date nothing but Greeks who've been in car wrecks. Okay?
You know the thing about the Greeks, Doctor?
He likes them hairy. Yeah, it's a mess down there, Doctor. He sells that shirt. Dr. Michael Salzhauer, mybeautifulmommy.com. Now, I do want to ask you a couple of questions about plastic surgery, okay? I want to ask you a couple of questions. This guy, Charlie Weiss, who's the coach of Notre Dame, have you read about this guy?
No. Should I?
He's hugely fat. Well, you need to watch Notre Dame. They're usually on NBC on Saturday. He's hugely overweight.
Okay.
And he had a staple, the stomach staple thing done, right?
Yeah,
which maybe isn't plastic. Yeah. It didn't work. He sued the company or the doctors or whatever. He lost the lawsuit. And if you look at him now, he's bigger than ever.
Yeah.
Well, do you do any of that stuff? Do you get in there and staple the stomach and
I don't, but after you lose weight, a lot of weight, there's usually a lot of extra skin, and that's where plastic surgery can come in to tailor the skin and get rid of the extra. Now, what probably happened, there's a bunch of different weight loss surgeries you can have internally. One of them is just to staple or band your stomach, which makes it smaller, and you can essentially eat through that. In other words, if you eat enough that,
You mean you'll re-stretch it again?
You can re-stretch it. But if you have a gastric bypass where they actually hook up parts of your anatomy that normally don't go together, so the food basically just runs right through you, you can't really eat through that one, Do
you take a dump like after every meal?
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, it does affect...
For the rest of your life, it's like, boom, like that? That's it?
No, it's not like instantaneous, but 20 minutes, 30 minutes later you may feel, the urge,
But so you're at a dinner party, or you're having dinner with your friends, or we have a lot of guys that drive cross country. They get their stomach fixed every 30 minutes, no matter what they eat. It's, right.
Someone shit on the coats.
Thank you. That's Dane Cook.
That was a judicious use of that drop.
It sure was. That's Dane Cook. We're trying to figure out why he's funny all day today. We'll be listening to him. So this Charlie Weiss guy, he had something else. When you say the skin is left,
yeah.
Do you get a big knife and cut the skin off? Like, would you grab a handful of it and just slice it like a ham?
It's Exactly.
Wow.
And the knives are big, and they're big. And
what's the biggest person you ever cut the skin off of after the...
I had a patient who had lost 300 pounds. 300 pounds is what they lost. And the amount of skin...
What, did he get divorced?
The amount of...
Thank you.
The amount of skin actually...
Finally got the doctor to laugh. It's been a half hour.
Below their knees.
What's that? It went below their knees?
Yeah, the skin from their abdomen hung below their knees.
Oh, my God.
It's called a pannus, a giant...
When you started to work on him, did you find shit in there? Did you open like the remote or anything?
No. That's what the nurses are for.
You know, Oprah Winfrey had that, and they took all the fat they cut off of her, and they gave it its own show on the Oxygen Channel. Did you know that?
And the magazine, too.
And the magazine, too. Can you turn the doctor up a little bit? He's a little low to me.
Yeah, a little low. Do we have that technology by chance? You know, you just don't understand the technology, Jay.
Have you done any the transsexual thing where you change a man into a woman? Do you do any of that?
In my private practice, I do not, but I was the aesthetic fellow at the Cleveland Clinic in Weston, Florida for a year. Did a couple of those surgeries where we turned women into men. We actually gave them penises that you create.
What do you use?
If that hangs below the knee, it's a good thing, right?
You know
what do you use for...
The size of the penis you can make artificially is way, way bigger than average.
Wait a second. What do you use to make the penis?
You use the forearm bone, part of the ulna and the skin of the forearm.
Wait,
so the length of your entire forearm could be your new penis.
So it's all. What if you're like Popeye? I mean, that would be massive.
Yeah, it can be. It can be massive. I mean,
so it's always hard. It's literally when you say, "Hey, I want to go home and bone you."
Correct.
You're not kidding.
It always has an element of firmness to it. So.
Wow, and if you hit it, you hit it funny like your elbow. Do you get I got funny dick.
Do you ever transplant the funny bone into the penis?
Yeah.
Is I think the question.
Yeah, no, it's below the funny bone, but
below the funny bone. Okay.
Yeah, there's nothing.
So you take I'm touching my forearm now, and I'm getting quite aroused, I might add. Do you take from the elbow down bone and then what happens to that? What happens to your forearm?
Well, it turns out that your body has a lot of extra parts. Believe it or not, and the center part of that bone actually is not necessary for. As long as you leave the joints, the distal and the proximal part attached to the joints, the middle part of the bone can be used.
MyBeautifulMommy.com. That's the book if you're getting plastic surgery. I'm going to give you quickly my joke that I said to my wife when she was getting one of her nipples replaced after reconstructive surgery. The guy was going to make it out of her vagina, with the labia.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. I said, good, doctor, it'll save me a trip. Okay? You can have that, doctor. Dr. Michael Salzhauer, Salzhauer, MyBeautifulMommy.com. Great talking to you. Good luck with the book, okay?
Thank you, Jay. You too.
Thanks a lot. All right, Sirius Stars 102. I might want that surgery anyway, Rodney. That's pretty good surgery, I think. The bone thing. And you'd have to put like some sort of...
shit on the coats.
Nine-time Grand Slam singles champion Monica Seles is now exclusively on Sirius with a new show for women.
I went through a very difficult period in my life, both on and off the court. And one of the things that got me through was trying to find that mind, body, soul connection. And I'm very much looking forward to sharing that with you and hearing from you. And really, in that process, also having a great time.
You can talk to Monica Seles Thursdays, 1 p.m. East on the Sirius Stars Channel 102.
Picture this. You're on the phone with a client or customer trying to explain something visual, a document, a spreadsheet, or a PowerPoint. But it's frustrating because they can't see what you're talking about. Good news. Now they can. Just invite them to an online meeting using GoToMeeting. Simply set up a meeting in advance or on the fly. Whoever you need to meet with logs on to GoToMeeting.com with a meeting ID and bam! They see your computer desktop on their computer screen. So you can show them what you're talking about. GoToMeeting is simply the easiest and most affordable web conferencing solution on the market. You can meet with anyone, anywhere, anytime. The best part is Sirius listeners can try GoToMeeting free right now for 30 days. For this special offer, you must visit www.gotomeeting.com. Click on the Try It Free button and use promo code SIRIUS. That's gotomeeting.com, Try It Free button, promo code SIRIUS. Try GoToMeeting free today. You'll love it.
Thank you for calling for your risk-free trial of Proactive Solution.
Yeah, what's the catch?
Excuse me?
Your ad says I can try Proactive Solution risk-free and it'll make my acne disappear. Sounds a little too good to be true to me.
Oh, no catch. We're so sure that Proactive Solution will give you beautiful, healthy-looking skin that we're going to let you try it risk-free just to prove it.
Okay, but I've tried a lot of different things for acne before and they always make my skin itchy and flaky.
Well, that's why Proactive uses soothing spa-quality botanicals along with prescription-grade acne medicine to heal, hydrate, and soothe your skin while eliminating bumps and redness. Now, there's one thing I didn't mention.
A catch, right?
We're also going to give you a free refining face mask with your risk-free trial.
Wow, it's free?
To get your risk-free trial of Proactive Solution and free refining face mask, call 1-800-283-9808. For your risk-free trial, call 1-800-283-9808. That's 1-800-283-9808.
Up because of that joke?
Yes, you probably did. Women are very sensitive.
Didn't. I broke up with her, so how could that be?
You know what? There's a guy I know that's lost about 4 jobs, and every time I say, oh, you lost your job, he goes, I never got fired. I never lost my job, like that.
Hey, I broke up with her and it was stupid, okay? I'm sorry.
Why don't you call her back and go get her?
I don't know her number. I don't know her last name.
Okay, well, there you go. You know, I will tell you, first of all, ever since the doctor was talking about the forearm...
Hey, hold on a second. Hey, Kristen, if you're listening, send me an email.
What was her last name? What was her last name?
Boswell.
When you knew her? Foxwell?
Boswell.
Boswell.
Kristen Boswell was my
Go on the internet. You'll find out where she is.
No. This is 15 years ago.
You can still find her. Sean, find her.
Nah.
Do you know that a guy came on the show?
Do you know that I wrote Bachelor Man about her?
Well, wait a second. This guy found Sean's address and mailed it to us and everything else. Right, Sean?
That's right, Jay.
And we had to tell him not.
Thanks for bringing that up again.
Not to come to your house, right? We did do that.
You know what's weird is when I was walking out the door, she, gave me a piece of really pissed off advice.
Mm-hmm.
She said, "Oh, you're just so great at being a bachelor. Why don't you write a book about it?" And this light bulb went off over my head, and I spun and I turned to her and I go, "What do you mean?" And she goes, "Well, I know all your little tricks. You hide the can of Pledge under. I found your can of Pledge underneath the chair. You spray it over the door before I come in, so you try to make me think you're cleaning all day." And I was like, "Boy, I'm sure I don't know what you're talking about." And she walks over to the chair, pulls out the can of Pledge. She goes, "This one."
You would hide Pledge to look like you're...
I've been doing it for years. You know, you hear them coming up. You hear them, the garage door open. I run and get the can of Pledge and spray it over the top of the door. She comes in. It's like, "Oh, you cleaned up. Great, thanks."
Oh, you mean you just sprayed the scent?
Over
That's
the
in the
top
movie.
of the door.
That's in Bachelor Man.
That's exactly right. And
I didn't know people did stupid stuff like that in real life.
And so I said, wow. Well, she goes, "Yeah, you got all those little scams." And I was like, So I did. Hello? Did
Nothing. I'm just trying letting that sink in. That's all. We're all letting it sink in.
Shit on the coast.
Yeah.
Well, I know, but instead of going with me, you said, "I didn't know stupid stuff."
No,
you shit and piss on me instead of going with me.
I didn't shit and piss on it.
Baby.
I was
Come
thinking.
On, comedy
no,
show.
No. I was thinking. That's all. I was thinking. It's not so easy being the front man, is it?
Jay Thomas for bit enders.
Sometimes you can't control the people that are supposed to be helping you.
You just improv, can't you roll?
I was letting you run the show.
It's not a monologue.
Sometimes it is.
No, it's not.
Sometimes
it's a back
it
and
is.
forth, my friend.
Okay. Sometimes it is. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to set my mic on the Rodney setting. Are you ready, Garrett?
Hey, how's it going? How's it going out there? How's it going? Jay, hello. Who's the host? Hello.
All right, there you go. I was thinking about the doctor, and a couple of things came to mind, and one of them is there's an insight. I'll have to give you an insight. But the first one is, if you make the penis out of the arm bone, can you feel the sex, or is it attached to the woman's clit so that it rubs up against the clit while she's using the forearm bone? What is the forearm called? What's the medical term? The ulna. While you're using your ulna bone to screw somebody, does it rub onto the clitoris? How does the new man get feeling? How does he I don't. Now I'm sorry I hung up on the guy. I could talk to doctors all day. That's the problem. If you move your fingers, you know how your the muscles on your forearm move? I would want to keep those intact, so that I could
keep the whole hand on the end of your dick.
I'd keep the hand on the end of it,
and while you're in there, you reach around for shit, and then you can grab her ovary and go, "Got your ovary." Like when you got your nose, you'll go, "Got your ovary,"
and you come out with your thumb,
"Got your ovary,"
in between your fingers.
Yeah, that'll be.
Look what I got. You're not going to have kids. The other insight I had was, I think that trying to be in show business or wanting to be noticed and wanting to be, and I have to admit this, I know many people aren't going to think this is true of me, wanting to be above people and wanting to be looked up to, I think it is our way of trying to be, almost godlike, right? But when I talk to a doctor, to me, and maybe my parents did this, doctors are like gods to me. That they can fix the human body and do all of these things. And I wasn't, smart enough in math and science to be a doctor, but man, I got to tell you, I would have been a complete and utter jerk, and I would have been an egomaniac, if you can imagine that, if I'd have been a doctor. If I actually had people's lives in my hand, the ability to change a person's life, and then when they woke up, you know what I'd say, Rodney? Look what I did. I would say that to people. Look what I did.
A lot of doctors have terrible bedside manner because they get full of themselves.
Not me. Like when you had your aneurysm and the doctor saved you.
Uh-huh.
When you came out of it, I would have said, Rodney, I've saved your life. That's what I'd have said to you. I don't know why doctors don't do that. I saved you. You were about to die, and I saved you.
I had a Ukrainian nurse, and do you remember the, what do they call that? When you're in really bad trouble. After the emergency room, you go into intensive care.
ICU.
Yeah, intensive care.
Right.
My ICU, what do they call it, room, overlooked, what is it, the Hudson?
Where were we?
East River?
East River. Your room overlooked the East River.
Yeah, overlooked the East River.
Garrett wasn't there. I was there. I was in the hospital room with you.
You never came
Garrett
to the
wasn't.
ICU.
I did. I was everywhere.
You dropped me off, pretty much kicked me to the curb, and I didn't see you for a couple
stayed
weeks.
for hours and hours, got a couple of hours of sleep.
I remember Sean and Ira being there. Art came.
Helped your dad get into town, and he slept in the room.
Helped my dad go out and drink.
That's true. We were sad.
I heard the stories from that.
Yes, we went to the
I had a
steakhouse.
Ukrainian attendant in the ICU, and I don't know if I was hallucinating or what was going on, but I thought in the middle of the night she had a flashlight and she was like signaling container ships coming up the East River. There was some sort of signaling.
You thought that was the dream that you had when you were in the hospital?
I don't know. That's what I thought I saw. And then she gave me a soapy bath, and I forgot all about it. You ever get an erection with one of those tubes in your dick? That can hurt.
Oh, my God. Oh, man.
A rubber tube.
Well, I've told my story a million times.
They had to order to France, I think, for the extra-large catheter.
They had to get a big one for you?
Took a couple days.
You got a big hole there?
FedEx.
You see, I can't joke about it because it gives me the willies. I can't joke about it.
I know, that's a bad one.
I can't do it. I can't.
But how about this?
I want to joke,
this?
I can't.
Her warm Slavic hand.
That's better.
Okay.
That's better. All right.
With her ulna bone up my ass.
I am going to read a review from my best friend's girl, or a piece of review from the Los Angeles Times. Michael Ordona wrote this. Where does one begin to tell the story of how bad a film can be? It's not just that my best friend's girl is pervasively, hideously sexist, nor that it's cliched, a shamelessly derivative and laughably insincere, nor even that it gives us a face full of almost nauseating, unappealing characters. Ultimately, it's the most unforgettable sin that it's simply not funny. It's a nose-holding trip down the sewers of first-time screenwriting and unfunny acting. Oh, my God. The perpetually charmless Dane Cook stars in it. This is the... Now, I have to tell you, when you read a review like this, if you were to happen to see this guy around town or something, wouldn't you want to punch him out, even though the movie sucks?
Oh, yeah. I hate reviewers. You know, they're all wannabes. They're all failed.
Well, you're glad he did this.
Writers and this one I'm going to forgive.
The only thing missing in this movie is jokes about date rape. Man, oh man. So no matter what they write about him, and no matter what people say, he's got another 3 or 4 pictures coming out. That's the crazy.
Oh, sure. Sure, it's got nothing to do with the script and anything else.
Funniest guy in Hollywood, Ricky Gervais.
He's not in Hollywood.
Yeah, he is.
Ricky Gervais is in London.
Yeah, but he was at the Emmys the other night. Did you see him?
Well, I'm not saying he doesn't go to other cities. They don't have him chained up.
No, but I think he lives in Hollywood now. He has a movie out, a ghost movie. He lives in Hollywood.
I'd be willing to bet he does not.
Sure, as soon as you make any money, you move to friggin' Hollywood. You don't stay in London. Because London's boring and it rains all the time and everyone speaks English. You want to be there? He was hysterical the other night. The lowest ratings in the history of the Emmys the other night. Lowest ratings since 1991.
Hey, Garrett, have you seen Ghost Town?
No, the premise seems so cheesy.
It seems hackneyed, doesn't
Right?
it? But it's
Yeah.
Ricky Gervais. It's got to be good.
That's what I'm thinking, yeah.
But isn't he doing a parody of The Sixth Sense?
I don't know.
Yeah.
It seems like Ghost.
Yeah, it does seem a little, like, contrived.
Well,
But
it
I
is.
gotta think with Ricky Gervais, it's going to be great, though.
It's formulaic. Of course it is.
I don't know. I bet it's not formulaic. It looks like it, though.
It looks like it, yeah. It looks like a Dane Cook movie.
Yeah, I don't think they know how to market Ricky Gervais. I really don't.
Well, they star him in a movie where he is a guy and the ghost has him do like makes him do something.
But
and if he doesn't do it,
but he always writes stuff that's about something else.
He
You know
didn't
what I
write
mean?
this.
I think
He didn't
did.
write this.
I think he did.
No, he didn't write it.
Are you sure?
Positive.
Okay, I'm going
It's
to look
in
it
England.
up.
They don't let him write his own movies. You can look it up. He didn't write it. I'm telling you right now. He didn't write it at all.
Who wrote it?
I don't know who wrote it, but he didn't write it.
Yeah, I don't think he wrote this one.
No, he didn't write it.
David
because they paid.
Cope and John Camps.
Yeah, they paid him a bunch of money. That's right.
Maybe it'll suck.
Well, it will. It'll be fine. Everybody go see it. Whenever there's a ghost and the ghost gets in your body, remember when Steve Martin?
Yeah, I hate that.
And was it Lily Tomlin got in his? Who got in his body? Lily Tomlin. I like that. And he couldn't walk, and she was in his body trying to walk like him and all that. You
I'll
don't
tell
like
you
that
who did the best man-woman gender switching.
Who
was who's the woman that was married to the billionaire? God, I can never remember her name. Actress, got a funny
married to a billion. Oh, Jane Fonda.
No. She played a man. Oh God.
Whoopi Goldberg.
No, you'll know who I'm talking about. She's a real actress.
Remember when the poor guy that had to make love to Whoopi, and it was supposed to be Demi Moore in Ghost. Remember that? Remember that scene?
Oh yeah.
You know, I felt sorry for Whoopi because in the movie theater when he was kissing her, people were going, ooh, like that. Oh God, it was terrible. Poor guy, poor Whoopi. You know what? Did you see what she asked John McCain on The View?
No.
If he's elected,
Do I
does she
got to
have
worry about slavery? What a
have to worry about slavery again?
What a dope.
Bill Clinton was on The View. They were all over him.
Can you imagine Bill Clinton going, this is great, I'm going to be on The View with a bunch of chicks. Wow, there's a hot one. She's a Republican? Oh, shit.
The only hot one is a Republican, you're right.
Yeah, what a letdown.
Sean, can you name a good-looking, screwable Democrat? I can't. Even the nut, Ann Coulter, is prettier than most of the... Is there a screwable...
Ann Coulter is a man.
I know, I think she is too.
What about Ariana Huffington?
Oh, please.
She has a sexy accent.
I don't trust her.
Didn't she used to be a Republican?
Oh, my God. Married to the gay guy. They ran for the Senate. They spent $20 million in Santa Barbara County. She lost. And then the guy says, well, I'm gay. And she gets like half of, I don't know what, $300 million. And I mean, yeah, I just don't trust her at all. I don't trust her in the least. And the fact that her blog is such a big deal, I just don't get it. Just, unbelievable. Law enforcement sources are now, they've arrested somebody. They took Jamie Lynn Spears' pictures of her breastfeeding her baby from a Walmart in Kentwood, Louisiana, Rodney. And they either sold them or they tried to sell them to TMZ, right? TMZ, I guess they call the authorities. And they are going to they're talking about putting this woman, or I guess it's a woman at the Walmart, in jail for pornography. Do you know why? Because Jamie Lynn Spears is a minor, and a minor's breast...
Yeah, and she might become corrupted.
Think about that. Even if it's not for sexual purposes, now this is Louisiana, of course, you are not allowed to show a young girl's breast, even if it's not for, and they're gigantic, huge bazoos, by the way. If you had pictures of yourself breastfeeding and you had $1 million in the bank, would you go to the Walmart and, I mean, where do you get them? Where would you get them?
I don't have any of that, and I don't go to the Walmart now. I fucking hate that place.
I'd love to get a picture of you breastfeeding. Would you ever take a shot of that? We could put it on jthomas.com.
Sure.
Just a shot with a little baby doll, something like that. Please. Gotcha. Billy of Brooklyn, the Jay Thomas Show, 888-410-102. Rodney Lee Conover is here. Hey, Billy, how are you?
All right, Jay, how you doing? Listen, I think the actress that Rodney's talking about is Ellen Barkin.
Exactly it. Ellen Barkin played a man, and she was so convincing.
Well, she looks like a man.
No. She's beautiful.
I mean, she was fucking hot when she did that movie.
You bet she was. And
wait, her body is incredible.
No,
but her
face is pretty too. You don't like her because she has flaws, but that's what makes the diamond. She was really beautiful and sexy, but she walked like a man. She talked like a man. It was really hysterical.
Yeah, I agree with you, Rodney.
She doesn't have a flaw. Her nose, like somebody hit her with a baseball bat.
You're one of these guys that picks out the one thing that's bad. You pick out the negative about a woman.
The one thing that's bad?
I can find good in all women, and you can find bad in all women.
She did a movie with who was? I think she did a movie with Al Pacino.
Yes, with Al Pacino.
With that sex scene.
Yeah.
Man, I tell you, that was some scene.
Oh, my God. She even made Al Pacino sexy. Can you imagine?
Hey, Billy, is your forearm getting hard right now, Billy?
Absolutely, Jay. I got to go.
Drop the phone.
He's got his forearm. He's got his funny boner. You know what? If you take like a cup, a drinking cup, and you smash it, take a drinking cup and smash it, you at home, like that, it looks like Ellen Barkin's face.
I'll tell you what, you watch an Ellen Barkin film.
That's right.
And you're going to tell me she's ugly. You're nuts.
No, her face is smashed.
I don't care what it is. She's sexy. Everybody's different, Jay.
She is sexy, but it's like Lyle Lovett. After a few weeks with that, you don't want to be looking at that anymore.
What a great 2 weeks. Remember the movie Being John Malkovich?
Yes.
How about the POV through John Malkovich's
oh my God
his eyes of banging Catherine Keener?
Oh,
Holy
she's on top of him.
Oh my God! Mm-hmm. I thought I was going to have a forearm shiver. I got a boner so fast I hit myself in the face with my hand.
And did you look like Ellen Barkin after that? Speaking of TMZ, they paid $150,000 to this guy named Riccio, who audio and I don't know if he videotaped it, but he set up all of the cameras. All of the audio you're hearing on the O.J. Simpson trial from Vegas? This guy was pre-wired, believe it or not. And he knew that he was going to sell it, and he picked up $150,000 from TMZ, and then ABC News paid him $25,000. Entertainment Tonight may have paid him $25,000. And that's how they got... So this guy now, he's the auctioneer, and he had set up the encounter between O.J. Simpson and the people that he eventually, I guess, tried to kidnap or pulled a gun on or whatever he's accused of. So this guy, Thomas Riccio, that's guilty, knew he was going to sell all of this stuff. And he also said, so O.J. is going to walk again, by the way.
You know, O.J. really does, and I hate to see this guy walking around, but he really does have a case of entrapment here.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, the whole thing was contrived. And he's saying they didn't know if they had guns, but, maybe he did. I don't know. But the whole premise of it is really fishy, and the characters involved.
Terrible.
I think he is going to walk again.
Who is the youngest dark-haired guy on TMZ that they talk to the assignments about? Do you watch that, Garrett, TMZ channel? Do you watch it? There's a kind of a young guy that they talk to, right? And he's so happy that they're going to the one I watched was when they were doing the Lindsay Lohan thing, right? When I was doing that little movie. And he was so excited that they had caught, her. And you watch him and you think, I know you're rich, and if he's paying $150,000 for O.J. Simpson tapes, no telling what he pays for other stuff. But he is a purveyor of discomfort, no doubt. He causes people, nothing but trouble. And he's all excited about it. And I think that's the thing that bothers the hell out of me more than anything else, is that it's just okay with them, and that celebrities, for whatever reason, deserve whatever they get, Rod.
You know what he'll tell you?
What?
Here's how he would defend himself. And I agree with you. But he would defend himself like this. It's our cameras, meaning the industry that he's in. It's our cameras that make them celebrities in the first place, and they want us. At the end of the day, they want us. It's just like when you were when we were at Power 106 and you got in the tabloid and you came running into my office. Rodney, you're not going to believe it. I'm in this tabloid. They say terrible things about me. Isn't it great?
That's true. We have that in our kitchen. It shows me with my wife, and it says, Jay Thomas's horrible secret.
That's how he would defend himself, though.
I would call up and go, I know a horrible secret about Jay Thomas. You don't know me.
Well, how do you think they got that in the first place?
That's right. It was the one where I was married an hour and threw my wedding ring.
Suddenly I had an influx of cash. You didn't notice? Hey, Rodney's got a new car, and I'm in a tabloid.
ABC News and Entertainment Tonight said that ABC News says we do not pay for news stories. Listen to what they paid for, though. A spokesman for ABC News, Jeffrey Schneider, said the network would never pay for interviews. What we did pay Mr. Riccio for, said Mr. Schneider, were the rights to broadcast parts of his audio recordings for Good Morning America and several photographs that he had of he and Mr. Simpson together. Well, then that's paying for news, man. That is, why even lie? Howard paid him. Do you know that? Now, you see, Howard Entertainment Tonight can pay people.
Well, that must be the right thing to do.
Well, yeah, but ABC News ought to admit to it.
Oh, come on. ABC News, they're above it all.
It's like when you go to a hooker, don't they have some sort of a lingo?
Yeah. This is for companionship, not sex.
Is that what they say to you when you're giving them your money?
I don't know, but you see that.
Yes, you do.
Yes, you do. This is for a massage. The happy
If any money changes hands, it's for companionship, or this is a massage, not sex. Well, what happens when the sex happens? Is it like a mistake? Whoopsie. And then you accidentally get more money out of your pocket? Whoopsie.
Could you massage my forearm?
The thing I hated about a massage parlor is when they put that paper towel under you. I hated that. And they use rubber gloves. I never got that. I went one time to a massage parlor. They kept asking me if I was a cop. And they had a paper towel and rubber gloves. Is that everybody's experience, or is it just mine?
Man, you are going the wrong...
Went to the wrong one?
Rubber gloves.
Wore rubber gloves.
What kind of a massage is that?
Well, it was a medical massage. It started medically.
What did it end up?
Well, we put the mattress on the floor.
An unfamiliar hairy knuckle?
She kept saying, I recognize you. Are you a cop? That's all she kept saying. When somebody says that you're a cop, there's no way you can't stay aroused after that. Your forearm goes limp. Absolutely limp. Kelly of Minneapolis, the Jay Thomas Show. Yes, Kelly, go ahead.
Hey, Jay, I was just wondering if you ever looked at the movie The Big Easy with Dennis Quaid and Ellen Barkin.
Oh, sure. About New Orleans, yeah. Yeah, about New Orleans, right. She's got a gorgeous body, yeah.
Yeah.
I've actually been in a room. I was in a room with her. She was with my agency years ago, and she wasn't pleasant to sit with. And, I just kind of go by she was unpleasant. And so that makes a person not attractive to me when they're unpleasant. I've met a lot of good-looking women Like Tia Leone, I've never met her personally, but I had my dressing room was next to hers for like 6 months. Unpleasant. Walking, pulling on a cigarette, like kind of a man woman, I mean, everybody's going, oh, I can't believe David Duchovny and all. Oh, really? Yeah. You talk about a ball buster, a testicle, clipper. I mean, she just, they're too rough, And I guess show business did something to him. I don't know, but
can I tell you about a Halloween costume my best friend tried to pull off in high school?
Sure.
He dressed as Eddie LeBec.
Oh, really?
And he had zero action the entire night. Didn't get laid one bit.
Wait a second. How did he dress like Eddie LeBec? He'd have to look like me.
He had on the penguin suit.
Well, of course he's not going to get laid in a penguin suit.
He was trying to be sly.
He got a penguin suit and went to a party, and people say, what are you trying to be? And he said, I'm being Eddie LeBec from Cheer.
Yep. Of course it didn't work.
Look, you want to hear the truth? Hey, I got plenty of action in that penguin suit, okay? Plenty of action, okay?
Without.
Huh? Yeah, don't you worry about it. Don't you worry about it. Plenty of action, You know what I would say to people? I would say, they'd say, is that a harpoon in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me? I did a whole bunch of endangered species jokes, okay?
So was it like an anchovy?
No, it wasn't. Sean, don't let the listener call up who's funnier than the main host. It's always a bad sign. Always a bad sign. All right, thank you, Kelly. Valerie of California, the Jay Thomas Show. Yes, go ahead, Valerie.
Hi, Jay. Hey, I had never listened to your show before, and the other night I caught it with Roland Haas, the CIA guy.
Yes.
And I absolutely fell in love with your show after that, so now I'm a avid listener.
Well, Valerie, then I have an announcement to make, and you're not going to believe this when I make this announcement. Since you just started listening to the show, I am going to be gone tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday, and next Monday and Tuesday I'm going to do this television show, Boston Legal. You ever watch that show with James Spader and William Shatner? You ever watch that? Good. Nobody else does either. But I'm going to be doing that show, okay? And they are going to rerun while I'm gone some of the greatest shows I've ever done that you've never heard.
Well, great.
Isn't that good?
I don't care for your sidekick so much. You
don't like Rodney? You don't want him to host the show while I'm gone?
No, I just don't want him to talk so much. I feel like he steps on some of your interesting points.
Yes.
But also, too, please don't waver from your belief that Ellen Barkin has 2 slits for eyes. I think she's hideous. I agree that she has a rocking body, but the face is a train wreck.
Okay. Well, thank you, Valerie. Sean, what do we have for Valerie for saying that that the reruns are an exciting thing for her? What do we have for Valerie? Give her something. Even when you're a winner, you're a loser on the Jay Thomas Show, Valerie. That's
Congratulations, Valerie of California. From Fox Television, The Loop, 2 episodes, Pilot and Jack Air. It's a DVD.
There you go. It didn't make it, but you'll enjoy it, okay, Valerie? Okay?
Thank you, Jay.
All right, thanks a lot. Now, Rodney, I didn't have her call. It was an accident.
Yeah, right.
Sure. It's Sirius Stars 102.
My friends took me out the other night. They're like, dude, we gotta go out, man. Let's go. I was like, I don't want to go out. Come on, dude. Let's go get some chicks. Yeah? Just like that? What about that whole middle ground where you're an idiot? No, dude, let's go get some chicks. So they wanted to go out dancing, right? Which we go, guys, we go to the clubs because that's where, you go, the girls go. Girls go to dance. Let's go dance tonight. Let's just stand in a circle around our shoes and our pocketbooks and let's just dance. And if guys come near us, we'll taser them. No guys. You never hear a guy say to one of his buddies, hey, listen, Michael, tonight, dude, I gotta dance. What, chicks? No, I want to dance. I just want to express myself through the art of dance, Mike. I don't want to see a chick.
Sirius presents ACDC Radio.
I'm Angus Young, and this is our channel.
Dedicated to the bad boys from down under.
playing non-stop AC/DC music 24/7.
Exclusive interviews and new songs from their upcoming CD, Black Ice.
Hey, it's Brian Johnson, and this is
100% commercial-free.
AC/DC Radio.
Now on Sirius Channel 29.
How many times have you found yourself wanting to stay in the car to keep listening to Sirius? If only you had another Sirius radio at the next destination, your office, home, boat, your other car, riding mower, whatever. Well, Sirius thinks it's time you did something about it, and we make it easy. Right now, you can add a second, third, or fourth radio to your existing account for an additional $6.99 a month per subscription. That's about half off the single subscription price. And when you think of everything Sirius offers, the sports, including the NFL, NASCAR, comedy, entertainment, big-name stars, and 100% commercial-free music, you'll realize how much you get for so little. We've even discounted our radios just for current subscribers. For a limited time, save up to half off on many popular models, including the portable Stiletto. Go to Sirius.com/radio2 for all the money-saving details. That's Sirius.com/radio2. Sirius Satellite Radio. The best radio on radio.
Some teens have trouble just making it to graduation.
If it wasn't for my best friend Enrique, I would have just been out working already right now. Like, working at factory, you know, making little pay, like $5. I would have been like one of the other kids there, like dropouts. He tells me, don't do it, please don't do it, you know. If I wasn't a real friend, I would have never told you this. You know, I would just keep shut and just let you do it. He opened my eyes even more.
Give Danny the boost he needs to graduate. Go to boostup.org and send him a message in your own words. Brought to you by the U.S. Army and the Ad Council.
Do you get tired of styling your hair every day? And do you want a good hairstyle every day? Hi, I'm Sarah Schuster. I invented the Insta-Do. Just put it over your head like a helmet does, and you can have an instant hairstyle. People like it. People like Jeff Bart.
I like it.
See, I told you.
Anything's possible. Keep thinking. Get started on your own inventions or just play some games at inventnow.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office, the National Inventors Hall of Fame Foundation, and the Ad Council.
Hi, Jay Thomas here at Sirius Stars 102. If you go to the website, jthomas.com, you will find appealing apparel and merchandise. We've got, of course, all the Sarah Palin stuff, V-Pilf, Drilled in Alaska, Get Off My Daughters. And for those of you who believe that Barack Obama is a socialist, Obama the commie, then we have Obama Nation. Now, that goes both ways, okay? Is it an Obama nation, or is it an Obama nation? See how that works? Get off my lawn, old cranky, John McCain. The Dalai Lama saying, screw China. My daddy is a trucker for the kids and the gals in your life, okay? The beatings will continue until morale approves. Mangina still sells. And, of course, the one that started it all, it's a mess down there, which is the signature phrase of Rodney Lee Conover. To find out more about him and his new movie that's coming out, it's been around for a long time, but they're finally, going to release it soon. Go to bachelorman.com. We talked about Jamie Lynn Spears a few minutes ago, and Arlene of Louisiana said that she and her boyfriend, Casey Aldridge, Rodney, are breaking up, and they're trying to keep him.
Those kids were going to make it.
He had no interest in being with her and didn't even remember that when he had had sex with her.
Oh, really?
Spears gives him a 9 p.m. curfew and has had to turn over his email and voicemail passwords. Casey Aldridge said he may go to court to prevent her from cutting off his finances. Casey never seemed too excited about being a father, said a member of the Spears family. And now he's desperate not to lose his meal ticket. Well, if anybody ought to make that statement, it ought to be a member of the Spears family. That is just unbelievable. I think that's also going to happen to the Sarah Palin's daughter also. I mean, I think that kid was, that little email that he put out, I'm an effing redneck and all that stuff. Remember that? And they got it off the site really fast. Bill Clinton went a little nuts for a while there, and they asked him about Sarah Palin. I don't know if this was on The View or not, but he says Americans can relate much more to Sarah Palin than they can to his wife. God, that's pretty honest, don't you think, Rodney? That he would say that? I come from Arkansas. I get why she's hot and why she's doing well. All those kids, something that like that happens in everybody's family. I'm glad she loves her daughter and that she's not ashamed of her. Glad that girl's going around with her boyfriend, and glad they're going to get married. And I like that little Down syndrome kid, too. What kind of quote is this? One of them lives down the street. Is that what he said?
Let me ask you this.
Wait a minute. He acted like, he said one of them lives down the street. What does that mean? They're wonderful children. They're wonderful people. He's talking about somebody in his neighborhood? This is weird. Then he says, and I like her husband, too. The guy that does the long-distance races. He stayed in the race for 500 miles with a broken arm. That's my kind of guy. Yeah, this is weird stuff, isn't it, for him to be saying? I don't know. Yes, go ahead, Rodney.
Do you think the Clintons want Obama to win?
No. She's done if he wins. I also think that we used to vote for kings. I think we used to vote for people that were above us, and we thought they were smarter than we were and all of that kind of stuff, right? And I think that I would say that with George W. Bush, maybe Bill Clinton too, but with George W. Bush, certainly with Clinton, he came from the little town. Even though Bush was a really wealthy guy with immense amounts of oil money. My dad was in the oil business. So let's say they would drill a well for Texaco or something like that. Somebody else would finance it beside Texaco. Or Richardson and Bass was a big company. And you would see the name, and I remember seeing the Bush name all over the rigs. When I pull off the side of the road, right there at Seacliff, Rodney, you know where you see the wells going up and down just before you get into Santa Barbara there, right?
Oh, sure.
I pull off of there, and there's a place you can take a leak. And I have to pee usually right before I get into the city limits. And when I'm taking a leak, there's an oil well there, and it's Bush 23. It's one of 23 Bush oil wells right up above the hills here in Central California. So that's where they get their money. And I think what George did is kind of stumbled around and got everybody to believe he was like a regular guy. He's really rich. We don't even know how rich they are. I wonder how many cars they have. He has trucks. Probably has like pickups, 25 pickups. And he stumbled around. He couldn't speak properly. Didn't know the names of the foreign countries and all that. Remember that? Didn't know the leaders. I don't know those guys either. It was like everybody thought he was a C student. Jane of North Carolina. Yes, Jane, the Jay Thomas Show. How are you?
Hey, Jay. I appreciate your time.
My parents told me that if I'd have been a girl, they were going to name me Jane.
Well, maybe we could have known each other in time. Look, I have 2 points. Number one about Clinton. I think Bill Clinton, in his imagination, cannot see a beautiful woman without thinking somewhere, sometime, she'll be his. So I think he's like laying the groundwork for that inevitable day that Sarah will say yes to him.
He is laying the groundwork so that Sarah Palin will be under him at some point. He would get on top of Sarah Palin if he could.
Covering those bases in case that day happens. Number two, there's out of Louisiana, there's an email run that says that Hillary, on October 5th, Biden will have this mysterious disease, an aneurysm of sorts, whereas he will bow out of the race, and Hillary will be the new appointee for vice president.
What's the date of that? October the 5th?
October 5th.
October 5th, Joe Biden is going to have an aneurysm.
Well, that's what it was out of Louisiana, someone out of Louisiana. I live in North Carolina, so I guess going around. So
Okay.
I don't know if someone made it up or what, but if it happens, we'll know. Okay.
All right, good. Thank you, Jane of North Carolina. Thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. You know what? I went away. We need to go away again, don't we, Garrett? Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, stay where you are. The Jay Thomas Show. And Rodney, do you know this lake, Saugatuck? You know this beautiful beach or something in Michigan?
Yeah.
Oval Beach. You ever go there?
Sure.
Swim there? Okay. We'll stop in there next on the Jay Thomas Show at Sirius Stars 102.
I'm Candace Bushnell, author of Sex and the City and Lipstick Jungle. Here's what my show's about. We try to stir things up every week. We tell women exactly what you don't want to hear. I tell you to run away from your children and run to work and make lots of money and tell your husband what to do. Make him do all the housework and learn how to run the show with my special guest this week, Brooke Shields, Kim Raver, Rosie Perez, and even a few guys. All on sex, success, and sensibility with me, Candace Bushnell, Thursday at 6 p.m. East, 3 p.m. West on the Sirius Stars channel, Sirius 102.
They say the best things come to those who wait. The wait is over. Tonight on NBC, SVU is back. All new episodes of television's best crime drama.
NYPD, open up!
With your favorite detectives and spectacular guest performances. Tonight, Luke Perry like you've never seen him before.
You fell in love with me.
The gripping season premiere of Law & Order SVU following an all-new Biggest Loser Families. NBC tonight.
Want to add a little more weekend to your life? Now you can by signing up for the special Weekender home delivery package from the New York Times. With the Weekender, you'll get the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday New York Times delivered right to your home for as low as $4.70 a week. Call 1-888-TIMES-80 to start your weekend. There's no easier way to plan for and enjoy your precious days off. On Friday, read the Weekend Arts for movie and theater reviews or find the perfect getaway across the country in Escapes. Call now, 1-888-TIMES-80. With the Weekender from the New York Times, there will be no need to head to the store or newsstand for your copy of the Times. It will be waiting for you when you wake up. Sunday morning, enjoy Sunday styles, weekend in review, and so much more. The Weekender is only convenient. It's also a great deal, as low as $4.70 a week. Sign up today. Call 1-888-TIMES-80. The New York Times.
Are you out of luck finding the right parts and accessories for your older Sirius radio? Go to TSSradio.com now to get the parts you need. They have replacements, Sportster Replay radios, Sportster home kits, Starmate Replay boomboxes, Soloist to dock and play your Stiletto 100. TSS Radio prides itself on offering plenty of helpful products and solutions for Sirius subscribers and new customers. Free shipping on orders over $50 when they're placed before 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. So don't wait. Visit TSSradio.com or call 773-772-4340 for all things Sirius.
Hi, the Jay Thomas Show. By the way, go to Sirius Pigskin or go to Sirius.com and then / Pigskin Picks or football and Pick'em game. And you can go against all the knowledgeable people here at Sirius Satellite. Sean Kelly will give us the results in a few minutes, and we'll make a couple of picks here. Let's go to Saugatuck, Michigan, about 145 miles from Chicago. They're in Oval Beach. Steve Oswald, welcome to the show. How are you, Steve?
I'm good, Mr. Thomas. How are you?
Good. And Rodney Lee Conover from Chicago, Illinois, is with me.
Hey, man.
Hey.
Yeah. So he would go down there, and what would you do when you went to Oval Beach, Rodney? Would you lay on the beach?
Are you familiar with the Waterfront Film Festival around there? Sir?
Oh, yes.
Hey, Steve.
You're on the show.
Come on. Hey, Steve, you're on a radio show now.
Yeah,
Stop
I'm always talking to you, so that's why I'm saying.
I go to that every year.
Oh, yeah.
This is Rodney Lee Conover.
Beautiful thing. It's a really nice area. Now, wouldn't you describe that area as kind of like an artist's colony almost?
Yeah, since, say, about 1870-something.
Yeah. It's kind of out of place, but really nice.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well, let me tell you what Steve did, Rodney. He went into a public bathroom in is it the town of Saugatuck you went into the bathroom?
Yes. Down the street from the shop I manage.
Yeah. And it's the bathroom that you and the customers have to use, right?
Correct.
And tell us, you were unhappy with the way the bathroom was kept. Is that the deal?
Well, what happened was I had customers come in that wanted to use. We have a bathroom in our store, in the back of our store,
but it's rather antiquated, to say the least.
You mean you have to step over boxes?
Yes, exactly.
And is the mop in a bucket back there? That's the one I like, when you got to pee next to the mop in a bucket.
No, the mop's not in a bucket in the bathroom, but it's just the plumbing. It's an old building. It's a 100-and-some-year-old building with 100-and-some-year-old plumbing.
Right.
Not commercial, not, the really professional stuff like in a public restroom. And what happened was we had some customers come in, and they wanted to use our restroom. I said, well, I'm sorry, we really can't do that. And they said, well, I said, there's a public restroom half a block down. And they said, oh, well, we were in there. It's a horrible mess. And I said, okay, well, the last one that came in got very upset with me, and she said, well, there's no tissue or anything in there. And I said, okay. And I said...
She means she went to the bathroom and was unable to pat herself dry.
Exactly. So I sent one of my female employees down, take a look, and I said, please give me a report. And here's some toilet paper, take that down, so they've got some. She comes back, and she says, it's in a serious disarray. And I said, okay.
She said the bathroom is in serious disarray.
Yep. And I said, okay, so I called the mayor, and he said, well, we'll have somebody take care of it. I waited 15 minutes. I didn't see anything happening. So I said, ladies, you're on your own. Take care of the store. I'm going to go clean a bathroom.
Do you have some sort of, like, Mighty Mouse music or something, Garrett? Some kind of... You called the mayor of a city and expected something to happen in 15 minutes.
You got it.
Is that normal procedure there in Saugatuck, that the mayor would just drop everything and clean a toilet?
Well, they have a public works department that they tend to... you see driving around all the time, so I assumed that they could get there in 15 minutes.
No one was going to clean the bathroom. Steve Oswald. That's right. That's right. Steve Oswald. There you go. Okay, Steve. So you went down to the bathroom, and what did you do?
I cleaned. I took everything necessary to clean a bathroom.
Unbelievable.
And cleaned both the men's and the women's.
You are a fastidious individual, are you not? You're a clean person, anal, as it were?
No. Actually, what it is I wanted to take care of the customers of our guests and our customers.
What's the name of... By the way, give me the name of your store so we can give you a plug here.
I'm the manager of American Spoon Foods. We do artisanal preserves and fruit products made with Michigan fruit.
Okay, so everything that's in your store you eat with a spoon?
Basically, you could, yeah.
Okay. Rodney, have you ever been into an artisanal spoon food store?
I have not.
No.
Everything I have been to the Warren Dunes. Have you been there?
Yeah, the Dunes? Is that a big deal there?
Steve?
What's that?
The
I
Dunes.
have been to the Warren Dunes.
The Warren Dunes? I haven't been there since I was a kid.
Yeah, right. But good memories, right?
Yeah.
So the mayor said, okay, and then you build the city, right?
I build the city, and I build the city because I wanted something done. I wanted I did not want this to happen again. I said, I figured if I gave him a $22.50 bill, nothing would happen. But charge him $150 for 45 minutes worth of work, see what happens. And we have found out what happens.
And so they refused to pay you the $150.
Yes. Yes.
And so this is a very small town. The mayor gets a little upset. And did he say there was some policy that prohibited this?
They did not want to set a precedent for somebody picking up trash off the sidewalk without asking, and wanting to get paid for it.
Did you see George Michael in there at any time?
Yeah, was George Michael in that bit? Would he like that?
No, neither was Senator Craig, I'm afraid.
Now, Steve, what I do, a hallmark of this show, you probably don't know anything about this show, but a hallmark of this show on satellite radio is when we see a citizen do something extraordinary, we feature them on the show, okay? So that's why you are a hero among us. Play the Hero Among Us music, would you please, Garrett? You are a hero among us. You went in and you clean the toilet yourself, not just one toilet, but both toilets. Then you build the city. Have they given you an award?
Yes, I got the Golden Plunger Award.
The Golden Plunger Award. And from now on, will that be an award forever and ever in Saugatuck?
I'm hoping.
There you go.
I'm hoping I'm not the last one left that does something without being told.
When you're in the Saugatuck area, go to American Spoon Foods and say you heard Steve Oswald on the Jay Thomas Show at Sirius Satellite. Steve, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr.
Congratulations.
Thomas.
Okay?
Thank you. Have a good day.
Oh, my pleasure. Bring that music up. What a great American. Very fastidious, this guy.
The sorrow that you know will melt away. And then a hero comes along.
A hero comes along
with the strength to carry
a bucket and a small toilet mop, and to clean your pubic hairs around the edge of the bowl, to actually shine where it says standard. And then, with rubber gloves on, much like the massage parlor I went to, touch the disgusting toilet seat that you put your buttocks on and let your bodily refuse come out of. All right, turn the music up. That's a hero, okay? Anybody can save a life, give you CPR and all that stuff. All right, but who wants to clean up, a toilet? It's the Jay Thomas Show. Roddy, you like that feature when we bring a regular American on here who's done something?
I really like that feature. That's one of my faves.
When he said American spoon foods, my imagination went wild.
Really? What was the first thing you thought of?
That mostly gay people would shop there?
Yes, I knew you would go for that.
That's the first thing.
I just... Why do I even ask?
I don't know. And it's nothing wrong with it, but, I do have a medium... I know I have a medium group of gay friends.
Medium group? They also can tell the future?
No. A friend of mine is a designer. I hang with designers, and I know some chefs and stuff. And when you're with them and you walk down the street, they do pick different stores to go into. And if you're walking and you would see American Spoon Foods, it's not normally where you and I would go into. Right? We would go into Rookie's Sports Bar. Yes. That's where we would go into Rookie's.
Brewery. Yeah.
Or the brewery or something like that. And I would walk by American Spoon Foods and I would say, I would giggle and whatever and look in the window. But when you're with a gay friend, you're in American Spoon Foods, and then the world opens up to you, And he makes all the fruits made from, stuff that's grown right there in Michigan. Okay.
Michigan is an amazing place. I don't know if you've ever been there. It does get cold. And around Detroit it is depressed. But, man, get outside of there, and it's a hell of a place.
Well, do you know that JT was, of course, raised in Grosse Pointe, Michigan, and lived in the northern part of Michigan and all that? And this guy loves going home. He loves being there. Most of the time people are raised someplace and they want to get away from it. They hate it. Maybe that's not even true anymore. But
I love going home myself.
You love Chicago, right? I love Louisiana, right?
Yeah,
but remember, didn't you have friends and they were, I was raised in, a crappy place. Never want to see that place again.
Yeah, that really pisses me off when people...
I don't trust those people.
Badmouth where they came from.
I don't trust those people. Do you? I don't. I come from some little crappy town in...
the real bunch of hicks. They're always
really? Oh, really?
It's like, what?
You mean like the town that Brett Favre comes from? That kind of hicky town that he can't wait to get back to?
Yeah, and
that his family drove him nuts and he had to go back to pro football to get away from him?
And what's really funny is they live in L.A.,
That's right.
That's like you moved to this upholstered men's room and you
I really couldn't agree with you more. What an experiment that failed. Los Angeles.
Oh, my God.
People keep going, where's the downtown? There is no downtown. You want to go downtown?
And then they want to go out partying. Let's go partying. It's like 10:30 p.m. You're like, no.
No, there's no partying.
Bars are open for another 20 minutes.
Well, the other thing is, if you want to get into a really good club, you're going to stand in line and have to put up with all the crap, You go to Chicago, you go to New Orleans, you go to San Francisco, you go to Austin, Texas, you go to Omaha, Nebraska. You want to go out and do something, you'll find a joint, right? A joint.
You ask the average L.A., what do you call an L.A. person, like a Chicagoan, and
a Los Angelian.
A Los Angelian.
Los Angelian. Or a Mexican. You can either call them just regular Mexican or Los Angelian.
Ask them what their impression of Omaha is, and they will laugh. But I got news for you. I've been to Omaha. It's fucking awesome.
Los Angeles is Tulsa with a flowered shirt. Let that sit there for a second. Let's let that sit there. Think about that for a second. How many radio shows, how many guys are secure enough to say something and then let it just sit there?
Someone shit on the coast.
Tulsa with a flowered shirt. Would you call that brilliant, what I just said, Rodney? Thought-provoking?
Keep going.
I think Dane Cook did it better.
How about Tulsa with flip-flops? That better? Tulsa with shorts? Tulsa with a tan? Let's take Tulsa out of it. Topeka. Let's go to Topeka. Tulsa's out of it now. Topeka with a tie-dyed shirt. Calgary. Let's go to Calgary. Give me a town, Sean. Give me one of those crazy Canadian towns.
Salmon Arm.
What is it?
Salmon Arm.
Yeah. Los Angeles is like Salmon Arm without the salmon.
Just the arm.
Just the arm. And just the forearm.
Yeah.
Okay.
New dick.
Right. It's the Jay Thomas Show. I'm brave, I'll tell you that. We'll talk to you at 888-410-212. We will take your emails at jthomas.com. And this show is long from over. And it is Sirius Stars 102. There you go. You know what? Get that Andrea on the telephone, Sean Kelly, that our new young producer that's just... People are wondering how she got the Palin family or the in-laws on the show, okay? Not the in-laws, the parents of the vice presidential nominee. All right? Oh, and the football picks are coming up.
This is NASCAR driver Denny Hamlin,
Rick Biffle,
Jimmy Johnson, Carl Edwards,
Jeff Burton,
and the chase is on.
The chase for the Sprint Cup is on. Sirius NASCAR Radio. Sirius will be at the track right up to the checkered flag at Homestead, Miami. Get expert analysis from Buddy Baker, Chocolate Myers, David Poole, and Dave Moody. And with driver-to-crew audio, you won't miss a second of the action.
Dale Earnhardt Jr., Kyle Busch, Tony Stewart, Clint Boyer.
Go to Sirius.com/NASCAR for more information.
Kevin Harvick, Matt Kenseth, Jeff Gordon, and the chase is on.
Sirius NASCAR Radio.
Hi, this is Greg Zapper, president of Nevada State Corporate Network. For over 7 years now, I've been telling you how important it is to get incorporated and build business credit. Thanks to you, Nevada State Corporate Network is now one of the nation's largest incorporating firms. But some of you are still putting off getting started. So let me introduce the person that motivates me to get things done, my wife and business partner, Susan Zapper.
Hi, everyone. This is something important I wanted to talk to you about. Right now, the U.S. is in the middle of a severe consumer credit crisis. That's why it's time for you to build business credit now. If you have a business, business credit can help you get vehicles, equipment, real estate, and separate business credit cards. With our business credit program, you can get hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of business credit now, regardless of your personal credit. Call 866-854-5282. Get instant business credit now. 866-854-5282.
Great job, Susan. And remember, when you call, ask for the Zapper Credit Special at 866-854-5282.
You mean the Susan Zapper Credit Special.
Okay, whatever.
Picture this. You're on the phone with a client or customer trying to explain something visual, a document, a spreadsheet, or a PowerPoint. But it's frustrating because they can't see what you're talking about. Good news. Now they can. Just invite them to an online meeting using GoToMeeting. Simply set up a meeting in advance or on the fly. Whoever you need to meet with logs on to GoToMeeting.com with a meeting ID and bam! They see your computer desktop on their computer screen. So you can show them what you're talking about. GoToMeeting is simply the easiest and most affordable web conferencing solution on the market. You can meet with anyone, anywhere, anytime. The best part is Sirius listeners can try GoToMeeting free right now for 30 days. For this special offer, you must visit www.gotomeeting.com. Click on the Try It Free button and use promo code SIRIUS. That's gotomeeting.com, Try It Free button, promo code SIRIUS. Try GoToMeeting free today. You'll love it.
If you're a big fan of Sirius 7 Totally 70s, on Saturday morning, starting at 8 o'clock, going 8 to noon Eastern Time, this opens up the Jay Thomas Show. And Garrett Andrich is the producer of. This will open our show up on Saturday morning, okay? Oscar of Los Angeles or Louisiana? Where are you calling from, Oscar? L.A. or Louisiana? What's that L.A. stand for, Oscar?
L.A., Los Angeles, Angelino.
You're a Los Angelino.
Los Angelino. Hey, Winnipeg, Canada.
Hey, Oscar.
Yeah.
It's Rodney Lee. Thank you for your kind comments on my MySpace page with the Bachelor Man clips. Oscar chimed in. Very kind. Nice
You're
to hear
the
from
best,
you.
Rodney, man. I think you're cool, Rodney.
Thank you.
I don't like when people call up and say they don't like Rodney or don't like Madison. I'm like, who the fuck are they? Who cares, you know?
Exactly.
You know what? I couldn't agree with you more. I absolutely, and what I hate is when they call up and don't like me. That's the part I hate.
How can no one like you? I wrote a song after I talked to you last time.
You mean like a song you want to sing to us, or you're going to sing to it?
We were talking about dwarfs and fat girls and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we were. Sure.
Go for it. Yeah. Like Oscar's into it.
Sure. Go ahead, Oscar. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll pretend you remember.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But hey, I'm kind of nervous, though.
Don't be nervous.
Do you have an instrument?
No, I don't. But it's a sort of a song, a weird song. Do you know that song? I don't know who it's by. If you like Pina Colada.
Yes.
You know.
Oh, that's the one where the guy goes to meet somebody else and he ends up with his girlfriend again.
Yeah.
You mean
that's Rupert Holmes, Jay?
I got screwed again. That song.
Yeah. I wrote this.
I thought I'd gotten rid of this sack of crap and it's back again. You mean that song?
Yeah.
All right, sure.
Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Go ahead.
I was tired of my homegirl. We've been together a while.
Mm-hmm.
She liked fashion and jewelry with her expensive Botox smile. So one day on my computer, I read a personal blog. It was a chick from Pacoima looking for someone to love. If you like shots of tequila and all-night buffets, if you're into real ice cream and hate the parfaits, if you like making love all day and night in the sweat of my crack, then reply to my post here. If you want to hook up, I'm kind of like...
Oh, Oscar, that's great. No, Oscar, I mean...
I tell you, man, I'm tears in my eyes.
Yeah. You're going to be added, Garrett, when I'm gone, would you make that into a promo for the Jay Thomas Show? That shows the love, okay? All right? Now, Oscar, have we ever given you a gift before?
No, but I don't, I'll buy it.
No, we're not going to buy it. Sean, he can have any T-shirt he wants from the Jay Thomas collection.
Absolutely.
Okay? All right. Oscar, which one would you like? Have you heard him talked about? Which one would you like?
No, but I'll buy it, man. That's for
No, you're not going to buy anything here. Your money is no good here.
Oh,
you keep your pesos in your pocket, Oscar.
What's that one Sean thought of recently?
V-Pilf? Picture of her with V-Pilf on it? I like drilling in Alaska. Or you'll make a decision with him, okay? Thank you, Oscar.
Hey.
Thanks a lot. All right. Let's go to Andrea Bushy, who is one of the producers of the Jay Thomas Show. Even though she got her job because she's Art's niece, she's doing a great job. Andrea, first time you and I are talking, isn't it?
It is.
I want you to meet Rodney Lee Conover from Chicago.
Hi, Rodney.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Well, you got, you get a lot of guests for us, but you have been doing a great job, and thank you. But how did you get Sarah Palin's parents on the show? People have been asking me. I just emailed you. Can you try and get these people? You just called in Wasilla, Alaska?
Yeah, it was really weird. I was shocked because I said, okay, I got your email, and I said, yeah, I kind of thought it was a long shot. And so the first thing I usually do is just look up their home phone number, and I actually saw, Charles Heath in Wasilla, and I was like, that can't be true, it can't be the same guy. So I called him up, and it was him. He's like, oh, hey, yeah. I'm like, you're still listed? I couldn't believe it. And I don't know, I must have caught him in a good mood or something, and I just told him that you were asking for him. You love the story about the moose hunting. I kind of make up and pretend that I know your thoughts and feelings. I'll be like, he loves that you hunted with Sarah, and I just kind of, pretend that you thought he was...
You feel as though that you need to lie for me. Mm-hmm.
No. I just try
No. I want to tell you right now that I have not given you that instruction. Perhaps Art has. You are allowed to give me any incredible emotion, mental capability, or heartfelt, I mean this, you can give them any heartfelt emotion that you want to get them on the show anytime, and I mean that.
All right.
Okay?
So
You did a great job. So you made me seem wonderful to them.
I did. I said you loved hunting, and that...
That's true, that's true.
Yeah, so that's good. I guess I wasn't lying then, after all.
No, you weren't lying.
So I'm glad it worked out, though. I was kind of nervous. I figured that to look at the website and see that the whole V-Pilf T-shirt for sale and back out, but I guess we lucked out. It went well.
Well, here's the deal. You should have called us when we booked her. And Sean, were you able to take VPILF down for the day, or pray for gay, or
Jay? It was such a sanitary website. You know, even Jerry Falwell would approve.
Right. So we can take stuff down, and the lie is always going to continue. Andrea, don't ever think that we're not going. And I know Art is your uncle.
He is. He's my uncle.
Your sister was Art's brother? I mean, your mother was Art's sister?
Yes.
Does your mother look like Art?
Yeah, they all kind of look alike, actually. Yeah, but she looks feminine.
Does she looks feminine?
Yes.
Well, Art looks feminine too. Does your mother have those dark circles under her eyes?
No, that's just Art doesn't sleep. He doesn't sleep at all, so.
You know, I've actually found a company that sells a salve that you put around your eyes. I'm not kidding you. I spent $69 on this little tiny jar of it. I'm giving that to him for Christmas.
Oh, that's nice.
It's going to be cured. Absolutely cured. Okay? It's called raccoon balm. And you put it around your eye and the stuff's going. Now, where did you go to college?
I went to UNH. And that's
New Hampshire?
I told the Mr. Heath, I live in New Hampshire, and there's moose hunting and stuff around here, so I think he liked that.
Who was the most exciting person you've talked to in the last few months since you're booking the Jay Thomas Show? Who's the most exciting person you got on the phone?
I would say it was him.
It was him. It was Sarah Palin's dad. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So you haven't gotten any big stars on? Art does all the big stars?
Yeah, he does. Or I talk to the publicists. I don't get to talk to them directly.
They're kind of, they can be a little bit assholey, can't they?
Who, the publicist or the star?
Yeah, the publicist.
Some of them, yeah. Some of them, kind of pull an attitude. I have noticed that. But no, but I mean, for the most part, most of them are nice.
And you can't fight it, you just have to, go with it.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay, good. Well, Andrea, thank you very much. And you're at your home, you just get up in the morning, help produce the show, and then go about your life there in New Hampshire?
Yeah, I do. I live in Pembroke. It's a small town, so.
Well, would you come in the week of the 16th of December, and I take everybody out for steak tips? It's the big thing.
I can't wait.
You get any hors d'oeuvre on the menu, and we go as soon as the show is over, because happy hour usually ends about 7.
Yeah.
So we leave right at 6 o'clock Eastern time, right?
Yeah.
And we rush downstairs or to Applebee's or to, how about if we try the Hawaiian Tropic this year, huh, guys?
Oh, I was hoping Chili's.
Yeah.
Or Chili's, Hawaiian Tropic. Rodney, what's your suggestion this year for the big Christmas hors d'oeuvre soiree?
We should just drop all that nonsense and go see Mamma Mia.
Okay.
That's a good one.
We may go see Mamma Mia. All right.
That'd be great.
Andrea, thank you very much. I can't wait to meet you in person. It'll be a very big deal for you, too, I'm sure.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Very big deal. All right. Thank you, Andrea.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Well, she sounds lovely, doesn't she, Garrett?
She does.
Yes, she does sound lovely.
She's no Lauren Lieberman now.
Well, she's young. She's fresh, from New Hampshire, little tiny town in New Hampshire, She'll come to the big city, get a couple of beers in her.
Oh, maybe get mesmerized by the buildings.
Mm-hmm. You know what she'll do? You'll open your mouth, she'll see some of your saliva. Mm-hmm. She won't be able to move. You'll spit on her a few times. It's like some sort of a love ointment that you put on them, It's like when those frogs that spit that poison, the most dangerous Amazonian poison.
I'm like a llama.
Yeah, it's one of these like, oh, what was that? Henry, California, the Jay Thomas Show with Rodney Lee Conover. Yes, Henry, go ahead.
Hey, Jay, how are you?
Good, man, thanks.
Enjoying the show. Hey, listen, couple things. First off, I've heard about your hunting, Jay.
Yeah.
And the only thing that you hunt, I've heard, is your lost golf balls.
You know what? I'm a very good golfer, and I don't lie about my handicap. I'm a 5, and, I don't...
5? Jay, you're a 5?
I'm a 5. Yeah,
You must have some incredible teachers right now.
I do. I have unbelievable people.
Hey, this is the second question for you. Now, listen, I want to know if I can buy the Catholic Church.
What does that mean? I don't know what that means.
Well, here's the point. Can we buy a church? Can we buy a group of people that are trillionaires? My question and my answer to the debt that we have, Jay, why don't we start taxing the money in the hidden vaults of the churches?
Rodney, has that ever been brought up that they would tax that? That would be Scientology, the Catholic Church, Jehovah's Witness, all of them.
I have no idea.
I don't think they've ever. No, you can't do.
Jay, it has nothing to do with Scientology.
Scientology is a non-taxable official church.
Bullshit. Why can't you tax the churches? They pay for my seat. I have to buy my seat in church to sit there and be in the house of God. I got to pay for a seat. I'd rather go to a movie.
What church do you have to buy a seat in? I don't know what that means.
Catholic Church, Protestant Church. They pass a little till around, and then I get a. Are you kidding? Jay, come on.
Because of the faith. Because of the faith-based, wait a minute, because of all the good that the churches do. And Rodney Lee Conover always asks me, where is the atheist booth at a disaster? See, so Rodney, do you think it would hurt the good the churches do if you started, taxing them, Rodney?
I have no idea. I think that money's already taxed.
Rodney, let's do 0.1% and see what we get. They can send us the check first.
And then what will they do with that money? Give it to the stockbrokers and the financial planners? Yeah, that's great.
Henry, you can't win here, Henry. It's very difficult to win here, okay?
Is that right?
Yes, you can't. No matter how smart you thought you were before you made this call.
I'm not smart, Jay.
Well, that's obvious. But no matter no matter how smart you thought you were, we're going to get you no matter what. So no, we don't care about the churches. Now, how is it going to affect you when we give away when we do the $700 billion buyout? You think it'll affect you?
It's 700 trillion, isn't it?
No, it's billion.
Really?
Did you just wake up?
I'm sitting here on the beach up here in the forest. I had to watch a house up here in Pebble because my roommate's up hunting elk with a bow.
I see. Okay. Well, that's good. Well, Henry, thank you very much.
Have a great day. Your show is fantastic. We love it up here.
Thank you. Henry of, up by Carmel?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Come on up the next time you can break away from your very, very exciting life. I see you everywhere now.
All right. Everywhere. Okay. All right, thank you, Henry. Have you ever given any children away? That's the best way to get in a magazine.
Rodney, you're the only guy that keeps that show afloat. Stay with them, will you, babe?
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Henry.
Have a great day.
Thank you. With a little help from Henry, I keep it afloat.
That's a beer drinker.
You know what I'm saying?
That's not a booze drinker. That's a beer drinker. I can almost smell the beer on his breath from however many miles he is away. Could you not? Does that make it?
Actually, that was Bass Ale. That was not beer.
I know what? I know drunks and I know drug addicts. And there's a sound that a beer drinker has that's different than a bourbon or a scotch or a vodka guy. Or a wine. You know, the worst drunk is a wine drunk. Because they have that wine breath.
He sounded like he lived with his mom, too.
Let's go to Pastor Glenn of Baltimore, who was thrown out of his church because he was listening to Howard Stern. Pastor Glenn, we've gotten some emails. Many people don't think you were ever an ordained minister and don't believe that you truly were a minister. Were you an ordained minister in the church?
No, I wasn't.
Then why did you call us and say that you were thrown out of a church you were a minister of?
I was a minister, and I left on my own accord. I was corrected by somebody that heard me on your show, by the way.
What do you mean, corrected?
No, I went to classes for a couple of years, but I never went away. I went to an assisting, this is for the Lutheran faith, an assisting minister. I did everything except I did the communion. I read all the verses. I gave my mom and dad communion before they...
You practiced on your parents, right?
No, I mean at the church. Before they passed away, I was able to do that, but...
But I thought you were an ordained minister, and you're right. Some people have called up and said they didn't believe. I'm glad you're telling us the truth. So you were like a helper at the church?
I was an assisting minister, which took, a couple of years. I mean, I'd take ridiculously long tests and answered a million questions and sat down, and the only thing I couldn't do was perform, like, weddings and stuff like that.
But that's the big thing about being a minister.
Well, my whole thing was that basically I got to do everything except for that. So I was just involved as much in the church as any other minister there that was ordained.
All right. So now you're out of that. You're in the music reviewing business. So you're not like this ordained minister running loose without a church. Okay. Well, good. I'm glad you told us that because, somebody knew you or sent us an email and mentioned that. And if the churches were taxed, what would happen? Would they stop doing good works if they were taxed?
I have no idea, Jay. I mean, our church, literally, when I became a minister there, I got no benefits. I had to buy all my own investments. I didn't get any medical or dental. I mean, it wasn't like we lived very lavishly. I guess there are churches around that do get a lot of money, but, we were pretty threadbare.
Well, Pastor Glenn, God provides. You don't need an HMO when you have HIM. Okay? Capital HIM, my friend.
I have to say earlier, only because Howard went on this morning, you had mentioned the thing about him doing something for the guys in the OJ trial.
Yeah, they said in a number of newspapers today that Entertainment Tonight, ABC News, TMZ, and Howard Stern paid Thomas Riccio for the tapes. Did Howard say that's not true?
Yeah, he was burning up this morning because, he said basically what he let them do is plug this website, which they did get $20,000 for a plug.
Right.
But he did not pay him anything, and he was like, just going off because they always write these stories about him.
Let me bow now. If I've said something incorrect about Howard Stern, let me now bow. Let me put my feathered hat back on. I stand accused, and I ask for your forgiveness.
But, Jay,
how do you like that? I'm going to start doing nothing but period pieces. Why is it? I wouldn't be ashamed. I'm sure you didn't pay the guy, and, of course, you make money when you plug stuff on Howard's show. But that you pay for stuff doesn't bother me, but it bothers other people, and I don't know why that is. You can't get a story sometimes unless you pay people.
Because he came away from the interview feeling that the guy was a little bit weaselly. And
oh, my God. What a terrible person. Yes, Glenn, go ahead. Yeah.
But this is the thing, Jay, that's driving me nuts for the past couple of weeks, all these debates on the political things. And I come away with the feeling that any given thing that a politician says, you got the left-wing guys saying they see it one way and the right-wing guys are seeing it exactly the opposite, when in fact most of it's right down the middle. Do you have any thoughts on that? Do you ever sit there and you see a story and it, like even with Palin, it's like one side saw as this really, great thing for the Republicans and the left.
I think the decision is done, and to be honest, if both of them went back to the Senate and voted on the things that are going on right now, I would have more respect for either one of them that said, I'm leaving the campaign trail. I've made my statement. I'm going to do the debates. I'm going to go back to the Senate. I'm going to be present every single day in the Senate. I'm going to vote on whatever it is that's going on, and I'm going to go back to my job, and I've said what I have to say. I'm going to give you all my positions, and that's it. Rodney, how do you feel about that? Just go back to the Senate, go back to work. You don't have to show up in Cleveland or Louisiana or
one thing
Arkansas.
I would be in favor of, and that's if you're in the Senate or if you're a governor of Alaska, which, Obama
right.
and what's his name, McCain are in the Senate, and she's the governor, and Biden's in the Senate.
Right.
If you guys want to run for president, you got to drop your job. You can't tell me they're doing their job right now. None of them. And you want to run for president, you got to let go of your Senate seat. You got to get out of the governorship and go run. But you know what? Don't make like you're also a senator. You're not. You're phoning it in at best, and you're not. You can't tell me you're studying the important issues of the day to pass legislation that affects my life, and I think that's just ridiculous.
It would be like the football picks, Sean. I let Sean do the football picks for me this week.
Yes.
See, that's what they would do, Rodney. They would call someone like Sean and say, do the votes for me, right? Can you do that? Can they have a guy raise his hand in the Senate? How do they vote? Yeah, I don't know.
Why can't they just, start
go back
running,
to work?
But don't make it a 1.5 or 2 year long campaign. All they're doing is campaigning now.
Right, exactly.
Decade
round.
round.
But it doesn't bother you guys when you see any given story and you see two different opinions and they're so steadfast that it's this way and the other guys say, no, it's the exact opposite
Pastor Glenn, the decision is made. They should stop all the nonsense. Somebody should. I just told you what I've said my piece. I've got my vice president. We're going to give speeches from Washington. They're going to be on television. I'm going to be on the Senate floor working, and I'll meet this guy in the debates, and that's that. Because the decisions are already made. It's overkill. You're just hearing overkill now. And they're not saying anything. They're not saying Barack Obama isn't talking about pulling out of the war. Somebody the other day called both of their ideas of how to solve the credit crunch and all that as moronic. Neither one of them said anything that means anything to anybody. So, so, but that's what this is now. This is all showbiz. It's all TMZ. It's all, and I guess we've ruined it, but millions and millions of people love all this crap. They absolutely love it. They love the Britney Spears thing, and they love the Sarah Palin's daughter is pregnant, and they love all this. It has nothing to do with whether anything good is going to happen to the schools or to the roads or to my retirement or your retirement. I mean, it doesn't make any difference. None. It's already done. You know who you're going to vote for. I know who I'm going to vote for. Rodney knows who he's going to vote for. Maybe the debates will change a few things. Campaigning's not going to change anything.
Right. Well, Jay,
but don't get upset. Don't get upset. The country is so big, it doesn't seem to make any difference. If George Bush in 8 years in that group, they came close to destroying the country, but they didn't. They didn't do it. I mean, So, and they keep saying your kids are going to pay for it and everything else. Okay, good. Fine with me.
I don't have kids.
Well, okay, but somebody's kids are going to pay for it. It's like my mother-in-law. Why are you fighting for abortion, you old gnarled stump? Yeah. No one's gonna screw you, and you're never gonna need an abortion. So what are you worried about? She goes, the future. Why? Then don't get laid and take the pill or abstinence or whatever you want to do. Okay, thanks a lot. It's the Jay Thomas Show, and it's Sirius Stars 102.
They compete as Wolverines, Spartans, and Buckeyes. They're the best of the leading colleges and universities in the division known as the Big Ten. They're young, undiscovered, and totally hot.
All this week, Playboy Radio introduces you to the 2008 girls of the Big Ten. We're taking you live to the University of Michigan, Michigan State, and Ohio State to meet the girls who stripped down for Playboy's annual salute to the country's sexiest student bodies. The girls of the Big Ten, all this week, exclusively on Playboy Radio, Sirius 198.
Honey, are those pigeons?
Yep, cute little fellas, aren't they?
Why are you keeping pigeons in our basement?
Well, you know how I've been away from the office so much, traveling around making presentations? So it's hard to get things done without having access to everything that's on my office PC. That's why I'm training these guys to bring my computer to me. Isn't that right, fellas?
That's nice, but sweetheart, you could just use Go to My PC.
Go to My PC?
Go to My PC. It lets you work on your office PC from any other computer with an internet connection. Just log on to gotomypc.com and start working with all your programs. Access all your files. Use your email. It's fast, easy, and completely secure.
Yeah, but will Go to My PC answer to 14 different whistle commands?
No, but Go to My PC will let you try their service free for 30 days. Just visit gotomypc.com, click the Try It Free button, and use promo code SIRIUS. That's gotomypc.com, promo code SIRIUS. Where are you going?
Upstairs to sign up for Go to My PC. And I'm hungry. Have any dinner ideas?
Suddenly, I'm thinking squab.
New from Dr. John Gray, leading relationship expert and best-selling author of Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, with over 40 million copies sold, comes the new book, Why Mars and Venus Collide. Join Dr. Gray in this unprecedented 10-week interactive webinar about your relationship. Ask questions, get insights, learn why Mars and Venus are so different, and how to improve communication. Space is limited. Sign up now at MarsVenusBookClub.com. That's MarsVenusBookClub.com.
Toll Brothers, America's luxury home builder since 1967, proudly sponsors the Metropolitan Opera International radio broadcast. Now is a great time to buy a home. If it's a Toll Brothers home, their legendary quality, design, and elegance make each moment a treasure. With a pre-owned home, you buy someone else's vision. At Toll Brothers, an award-winning Fortune 500 company, their professional designers help you create a spectacular home that's all yours. Interest rates are still low. TBI Mortgage can find a program that meets your needs. Visit tollbrothers.com today.
Patrick Shriver was a tow truck driver, loved to tow any car he could find. I never minded till I discovered that the car he had towed was mine. I never would have guessed it, for I knew where I left it, for I parked it on my own front lawn.
You know, you sit around with a CD in your desk and you think, when am I going to get a chance to play the dude of life? Okay? Well, this has been my chance. The Jay Thomas Show, Sirius Stars 102. Rodney Lee Conover is here. We're coming to you from California in New York at 1221 Avenue of the Americas. Sean Kelly and Garrett Andrich are back there. By the way, Garrett and Sean, we had asked for people to send in their private music that they wanted us to play. Did anybody, we've had a couple, nobody sent in any CDs, Sean, or anything?
No, we just got that one CD, that was it. And then somebody else emailed a couple of clips, but they're really short.
Too short? If you have, stuff on CD that's never been heard on the radio, and you listen to the show, we won't make fun of it. We'll play it, okay? That's what this show is about. Celebrating heroes, playing music, as we've said a long time ago, the only difference between us and you is that we made it. That's it. We made it. There's only so much room at the top, and we're standing on top of this pinhead. We made it. Why didn't you make it? Because you're not us. But when you send us things and we play it, maybe this will be your chance to make it. That's it. It's not fair. And why did we make it? No reason. None. You couldn't go to school. You couldn't plan it. It has nothing to do with talent. Nothing. Norman Titler. Is that your name? Norman?
Tyler.
Oh, Titler. Titler's better, funnier.
I know, but it's been said many times.
Mr. Titler, welcome to the show. Rodney Lee Conover is here with us.
Good day, good day.
Hello, Mr.
Titler.
Titler.
Right, come on.
Titler. Now, Norman,
yes?
One of the things of the Jay Thomas Show, do any of the of these tow trucks have Sirius satellite in them, Sirius XM satellite in them?
A large number.
I would imagine. We have such a huge number of cross-country truckers, tow truckers, drivers of all sorts that listen to us, that whenever I see a story that has a trucker in it, I get the person on immediately. Because you're probably wondering, why would I want the director of the Metropolitan New York Towing, Auto Body, and Salvage Association?
Well, I figured you had your own reasons, so I'm here to answer and discuss why.
Oh, there you go. And this is why. You recently broke the world record for the largest parade of its kind, and you got in the Guinness Book of Records. And did you think of this parade yourself?
This parade idea came about beginning of June when I was discussing with my wife how...
What's your wife's first name?
My wife's first name is Helen.
So you're Norman and Helen Titler. I love that name.
And she indicated to me that before marrying me, she never noticed that there were tow trucks on the road. And since she's married to me, she not only sees how many, but she now looks for every company's name. And we decided to give them some recognition, and I came up with the idea that let's break a Guinness World Record, because what other way to get national and international recognition,
right?
Unless you do something large.
That's right.
So that's what we did.
Well, and you put together how many tow trucks in this parade? I wasn't in New York when this was happening. So when like last weekend?
This parade happened on last Saturday morning. 292 tow trucks, ranging from a small truck up to a 60-ton rotator. That's the largest tow truck they make. Assembled in Shea Stadium parking lot. That's where the New York Mets play.
Yeah.
And at 9:30 in the morning with 12 police cars and motorcycles. We exited the parking lots, and in a single-line procession that extended for approximately 4 miles, we proceeded on the New York highways to a 15-mile run to Floyd Bennett Field, which was the first municipal airport in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
And they ended on a 5,000-foot runway, and the trucks within 20 minutes spelled out the words New York. And we hired a helicopter, and we had a number of photographers from the local AP and newspapers who took photographs of the trucks with the New York background, all of Brooklyn and the New York skyline in the background, which has been posted on websites all over the United States.
Well, it's going to be on jthomas.com. I'm looking at the picture now. It is a magnificent shot of New York spelled out, and then it's a wooded area there. What is that park? What is that?
That's part of Floyd Bennett Field, which is now part of the National Park Service.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the portion that's closest to the highway, and then behind that in the photograph is all of Brooklyn, and then you have the Manhattan skyline in the background.
Unbelievable. And it says here, the Barons of the Belt Lift. Is that what you call yourselves, the Barons of the Belt Lift?
A little bit.
Right. Yeah. And you also say it says a well-hung procession.
That's maybe some of the guys said that. I wouldn't put that. I didn't release that in print, as they say.
Well, it says here, a well-hung procession snaked its way along New York's roadways before arriving at the final parade stop. Maybe some writer wrote this out of one of the papers. So now, how fast were the trucks going? And this must have been a very slow-moving parade.
No, once we were on the highway, in New York, they did it the same way as if the president would have been in town. They closed all the entrances so we didn't have cross traffic, and we moved approximately 40 miles an hour.
Now, has anybody ever tried to have a parade of 290-something tow trucks before? Did you break a record?
Yeah, we broke a record. The prior record was set in August of 2004 in a small city called Winnetachee in the state of Washington. And they had 83 tow trucks, and that was the current record.
The Winnetacheans. So you defeated and have you contacted them with some sort of a,
No, not yet, because what occurs is, even though we broke the record, we have to send our proofs to Guinness in England to get to be officially declared the winner.
So you and Helen thought of something unbelievable, and you've made an international thing out of it. Helen must be just bubbling with joy that she married you, Norman.
My wife is bundling with joy, but unfortunately she's not sitting next to me. She's in Atlantic City enjoying her favorite pastime.
Which is the slots.
Absolutely.
Does she know a guy named Ira the Weatherman?
I don't think so, but
all right.
She maybe have seen him playing next time.
Yeah, he's there. Well, Norman Teitler, thank you very much. Now, the thing is, when you say Metropolitan New York Towing, you're talking about a truck. When people see it, it doesn't make them happy. You're usually towing somebody's car that's been illegally parked, right?
That's true, but part of the purpose of the event, and most people are unaware, we commemorated on that day also. There's a memorial in Chattanooga, Tennessee, that on that day, the same day, Saturday, they erected a plaque with 61 names on it, who are 61 towers who died in the line of service on the side of the highway last year.
You mean people struck them when they were towing a car away or something?
When they were either hooking up a car or towing or working with state troopers or police officers, that cars came off the road and struck the towers.
That's a lot of people, 61.
The prior year was 98.
My God,
how many people just got him with the door and didn't really hit him?
What, do they come by and hit him? They try and hit him?
No, they don't try. What happens is people, I'm sure we've seen on police shows that people are drawn to the lights, or that people are drunk, or truckers lose control. And last year on what they call the Wall of the Fallen, they unveiled 94 names, and this year they unveiled 61 names.
That's more people than firemen die in the line of duty putting fires out in the United States.
I represented the fire union in New York for 9 years as their general counsel.
Right.
And I can tell you that when a firefighter dies in the line of duty, any place in the United States, because I've been to numerous funerals all over the country, that it makes the front page of every newspaper, at least locally. When a tower passes away, it's a mention on some back page. and towers render an important. They're emergency providers in many instances, 24 hours, 7 days a week. We don't like our cars to break down, and we don't like to be towed away. But when we're broken down and we're in an accident, we're very happy to see a tow truck because they render that service.
Well, thank you very much, Norman Teitler. I never thought I would meet anybody in my entire life that was trying to elevate the position of the tow truck driver. And now I have met him, Norman, and I can hear the passion in your voice. Now, you work for the firemen. When you went to work for the tow truckers, did you feel the same way most Americans feel? They don't really think about the tow trucker?
Through the years, I had been involved with many towing companies, and surprisingly, many of the towing companies have they have combined training with fire departments because they have the equipment. If there's a truck that falls on top of a car on a highway, the only way to get the people out is for a tow truck to lift it up so firefighters can use the jaws of life and get the people out. So I've seen the towers through the years, and I recognized before I even started to do this work with them that they do render an important service.
Well, I hope your wife wins a bunch of money in Atlantic City.
So do I.
And good luck and congratulations to the Metropolitan New York Towing, Auto Body, and Salvage Association, Norman Teitler. Let's hear it for him. The Guinness Book of Records, spelled out New York, and go to jthomas.com. We'll send you on that link and you can see it. Norman, I hope the next time I get towed in New York City, you're the one behind the wheel.
If you get towed in New York City, you call me, I'll get your car released.
That's all I needed to hear. That's all I needed to hear. Sean, get a signed letter from Norman before we go any further. It's the Jay Thomas Show, and it's Sirius Stars 102.
We face serious challenges to our security.
It is not a card to be played lightly.
This Friday night, Sirius is bringing you the first presidential debate.
The next president ought to understand international relations.
Starting at 9 p.m. East on Fox News Channel 131 and CNN 132.
Anything other than continuing a war in Iraq, he calls naive.
Call in and have your say on Sirius Patriot 144, Left 146, and Indy Talk 110. The presidential debate from every point of view. Only on Sirius.
Is Progressive.com an auto insurance utopia? Well, let's see. Progressive is more than just cascading waterfalls and lush green gardens. It's all your auto insurance wants and needs, like the chance to save hundreds and the fact that we're there for you 24/7 to answer any questions. And they're not answered by magical nymphs, but by licensed agents, which is nice. Start saving today at Progressive.com or call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE. That's Progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company's affiliates, Mayfield, Philadelphia, Ohio. Prices vary based on how you buy.
It's obvious. You really enjoy your Sirius satellite radio. The sports, comedy, entertainment, news, 100% commercial-free music channels. But the real question is, are you getting the most out of your Sirius experience? I mean, are you only listening in your car? What about the office, your home, mom's house, the second car, your boat, tractor, whatever? The point is, you can add extra radios to your account for just $6.99 a month for each additional subscription. Only $6.99. And now you can save on new radios and accessories too, like $130 off the hot portable Sirius Stiletto 2, which is also an MP3 player. Or save up to 50% on other radios and accessories. Just keep your new and existing subscription for at least 6 months. Go to Sirius.com/radio2. That's SIRIUS.com/radio2 for all the details. Or call 888-SIRIUS-1. Sirius Satellite Radio, the best radio on radio.
They say the best things come to those who wait. The wait is over. Tonight on NBC, SVU is back. All new episodes of television's best crime drama.
NYPD, open up!
With your favorite detectives and spectacular guest performances. Tonight, Luke Perry like you've never seen him before.
You fell in love with me.
The gripping season premiere of Law & Order SVU, following an all-new Biggest Loser Families. NBC tonight.
Is it still the Ben Folds 5, or is just Ben Folds by himself now?
It's kind of back and forth.
Kind of back and forth?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we just had Norman Teitler on, and then Sean Kelly, you didn't give me the full story on Norman Teitler.
Well, Jay,
he's had a couple of run-ins with the law, hasn't he?
Well, he has, Jay. He's
has he been convicted?
Well, I'm not sure if he's been convicted, but he was accused of awarding contracts if he got a bribe. But I'm not sure if that was he was ever convicted on that. So that was alleged.
He offered to get our cars released just out of, we didn't know him 10 minutes that he was going to get all of our cars released.
He was just being nice. There was no money going to change hands.
No, none at all. No. None at all. So there you go. Yeah, so the tow truck drivers, Rodney, of course, you said the very rude thing.
That was rude, but he didn't pick it up, thank God.
He did. He heard it.
No, he didn't pick it up.
When you've been indicted a couple of times, you've heard everything. He'd heard Titler a few times. He had heard everything. Courtney Love has gone on a MySpace to find a new maid that doesn't steal.
Oh, I got to do that.
She makes it very clear that she doesn't want any super fans, but she's posting it on a fan site, and she is auditioning for people to clean her mansion there in Malibu.
Boy.
Where she says the pigs, she says, I'm sick of agencies supply pigs who steal. That's what she said.
You know, king of my topless maid steals stuff, and for the life of me, I can't figure out where she puts it.
You never see her leaving with a little bag?
Well, you know, she's got like a thong and nothing else on.
Well, they put things in prison, don't you? They hide them in their orifice.
Oh, no, I look up there every day before she leaves.
You do? You check before she leaves?
Oh, yeah.
Right. Also, on this, Courtney slams the Jonas Brothers and says they ain't rock and roll. And then her manager puts on a little answer to all this. Courtney raped me on the Nirvana deal. You got to go to this MySpace. You know the first thing they have to clean when they come to her house?
Her hole?
Thank you. It was so obvious even Sean, who snuck across the border and stole a real American producer's job. This has been the Jay Thomas Show. He even knew it. Rodney, thanks a lot. I'll see you later.
And you know what else?
What is it?
Somebody shit on the coats.
Okay, I'll be gone for a few days of rest and collecting another paycheck. It's the Jay Thomas Show at Sirius Stars 102.
Someone shit on the coats.
Oh, man. Clean my hole. Clean my hole.
Someone shit on the coats.
I heard you. He's like a dirty sock.
You're part of Animal Intuition Tuesdays with Sonia Fitzpatrick on the Sirius Stars channel, Sirius 102.